I'm gonna jump out. Somebody asked me if I was going live on YouTube. I don't know why I forget that one sometimes. Um, yeah. So the plan, right, long term, right, is we have Neo right now analyzing one thing because I need to make sure he is interpreting it correctly, right? And so, man, he picked up on it so fast as far as the basic guidance as well as the additional kind of trading logic that I wanted to teach him. AI is just insane, guys. I am not an AI creator, if you will. Alex, the one of the co-founders of the company, is the AI guy, and so I am the trader. And so, we've been working together, also with Paul, and just kind of getting this guy to trade, right? And so he is now just picks up on things so fast, right? So he does self-analyzing, as well as I can nudge him, right? So if I see something within his trading logic that I don't like, I can actually flag it, and then I come in here and I can click that, right, and send a little comment to him. And so when I send the little comment to him, I can highlight whatever I want within that, and then I paste this over, and I can send that over to him, right? And now it's flagged. So he'll look at that, interpret whatever it is, spit out what he is thinking, right, on the correction, and then I can kind of nudge him if he's right or wrong. And so he's kind of learning really fast because we got kind of two things going. One is he is self-analyzing. The other one is that I'm teaching him, right? And so it's kind of a dual thing. So we didn't even plan on him actually doing kind of long entry options or short entry options till June. So he's got a lot of phases he's got to go through, right? So first he's got to understand the market. He's already there. He's got to be correct about his directions and guidance, which he's already been there for about 2 weeks now. Friday we had kind of a meeting, and man, we were like, what's next, right? And I was telling Alex, I'm like, I mean, he's ready. Like, shoot, why are we holding him back? Like, let's just let him throw out some long and short entry options, right? And so, again, it's not a signal call. I don't want him to be a buy-sell signal, right? I just want him to say, hey, does he see any long options? Does he see any short options? If he sees an option, what is his entry? I want him to give anticipatory reads, right? I want him to say, like he did here, right, enter on a confirmed rejection from the level of 27,483 with an invalidation level of 501, right, and then a little target. And so when he gives those guidance, right, it's going to tell you kind of where the target is, when to enter, and what invalidates the call, right? And so right now he's more focused on scalping, $20 to $40 moves. And look at that short call playing out. Perfect. I didn't take it because I was talking. And then once he, I'm going to mute him for a second because he's going to give out another one. Once he establishes, right, that he can consistently give me good entry guidance, we'll call it. We actually have, so this is our company, guys, nextstepalgo.com. If you want to check it out, you can register for free. You can actually watch Neo for free as well. So all you do is click on here, right, and you'll just go into the session. So, and you can watch it. It's just a stream, right, where he's going to continue to stream his guidance. So while he's in beta, it's going to be 100% free, so which will be probably for a little bit here. And then kind of where we go from here is we have it, what we call a trading lab, right? And so in the trading lab, when you launch the lab, it's basically connected like real-time market data, right? So you can actually come in and practice.
Order filled.
You can open, close orders. You can set TPs, limit orders, drag them. It's fully functionable, right? Just like an exchange. It's a sim environment. We are going to connect Neo to here. So Alex is already working on that. It will take a little bit of time, but in Alex's world of a little bit of time is like a week, maybe two. It'll be pretty quick. That's going to give me enough time to hone in to make sure that he is doing the guidance that I want and that there's no missteps. The only missteps I've seen so far, which we only allowed this guy, is like Friday at the end of the day. So literally Sunday night and today was the first time he's actually giving out guidance like that. And it's just been absolutely spot on, man. Even during market open, it was funny. If he don't like the market or it's moving too fast, right, he will literally put that he doesn't like any of the entries and he'll put none. And so he did that for the first like 15, 20 minutes of the market. He's like, I'm staying out of this, right? And so it was really cool to see that he actually did that, right? And then once we connect him in here, he's going to be able to execute trades on his own. That's the next phase, right? We want to see, can he execute the trades? Can he pass our simulated eval, right? Because if he can't, I need to modify. As it looks from what I see, I think he can as of even right now. And so the plan is once he can actually go in and execute trades, we'll probably create a portal dashboard where everybody can watch, right? And so, if he takes along, you want to take along, go for it, right? You can take it with him. Or short, or whatever he takes, right? And so you can kind of almost follow along with him, right, on that guidance. But I want him not only giving the entries, or you can follow, but I want him giving the guidance so you understand it. So if you're new to trading, right, it'll make a little more sense. And so the end game goal, guys, is for this guy to trade some real money for people, but I will not let that happen until he goes through a series of stuff. He's going so fast. We did not expect for him to trade real money until probably the first of the year, but if he goes in here and he's successful, right, we'll put him on a company account first, and then we'll probably stream that dashboard, guys, because I think there's a lot of distrust in this market, not only from trading in general and mentors and communities, but there's a lot of distrust and automation, right? And so when we get to that point, I want him to have a dashboard that you guys can watch for months, right? And then that way, if you're like, man, this guy is just killing it, sign me up, right? That's when I want to open up the automation. So now as far as expanding into other things, right, that'll be a little while, but we fully plan on, guys, once he's ready, like, we have so many plans for him, it's not even funny, guys. We have this thing right here called Crypto Autopilot. We're gonna have him scanning as many pairs as we decide to let him scan. You can connect him to your wallet and he'll literally just buy and sell crypto for you, right, within your preferences and stuff. And so all that stuff's coming, guys. We just it's amazing, man. Those that are in the room, though, I mean, like, I see Chuck's in here. They look like you, Lupe. What's up, man? I listened to your audio. I didn't get a chance to respond. Andy Smith. But yeah, I love the idea. We actually talked a little bit about that indicator option, which I'll explain tomorrow when we do that, if you're there, or I'll just text you back either way. But yeah, so I mean, he's going so fast that, guys, eventually I want him trading crypto wallets. I mean, imagine, like, spot buying. You set parameters of what you want him to do or say or whatever within your wallet, right? And then he just goes in and executes it. You don't have to worry about getting caught in big drops, or I mean, instead of waking up having your portfolio get wrecked, it's be nice to be like, oh, seeing this was going on, so I sold some of this based on what you let him do, right? And so the use case is absolutely just amazing. We also have something that we're working on, which we're really close on. It's called a trading algo add-on. So the trading algo add-on is it's where, you guys know, everybody in here who trades, right, knows you use these indicators for rules. So if you say, like, this crosses this, or if this does this, right, you're heck, it could be something as simple as a buy and sell type signal, right? You can actually add Neo on to interpret it. And so if, let's say, you do the add-on, we fire a signal to Neo interprets it, and he'll spit back and saying, hey, I get this is a long condition, but based on the conditions that I'm seeing, I'm not really convinced that that's going to play out, right? Or this looks like a great opportunity, right? It's just confirmation, guys. It's validation. It's going to help people that, build confidence, right? And so, if anybody in here, guys, if you want to watch him, all you got to do is just check it out, the website, nextstepalgo.com. And you can watch him. So while he's in beta, he's free to watch. So we do a lot of stuff in here. We got everything's very transparent in here. When you go to our deals tab, right, you got all the pricing. You come into a start here where it has all the stuff in there. The way that I trade and the way that I'm teaching Neo to trade, we have a very specific terminology we use. So we created a glossary, right, just to kind of help you understand what words mean, right? A lot of stuff in here, guys. Our training courses that we have, you can see on here, are very extensive. And so when you click on a trading course in there, it's not your normal, hey, watch my video while I record something and tell you how to do it. It's a full-blown university style course, like you're going to school here. And it's also not a video. It's very engaging. You can see we got a nice little book that it goes through. It's fully audio.
Charting foundations.
So you can see it's, you know, it can do the audio if you like. Very good visual, a lot of images. Literally, you can see when they first Alex and Paul showed me this, I'm like, this is crazy. Like I was just playing with the page. They're like, stop doing that and flip it. It was kind of funny. But it's literally like a book, guys. You're gonna take a quiz, you know, ebook, homework, like people that really want to learn. And y'all that pay thousands of bucks for courses are crazy. For this course, anybody that is in my mentorship group or the VIP, all of our courses are free. We have 52 that are already built. We're just putting them together, right? Making them high quality like this takes a little time, but you can see we're pretty close. This one should be done, I think Paul said, by this week. And then we're just kind of one a week, you know, pumping them out. We got 52. Anybody that's in the mentorship program or VIP gets them free, no matter which ones we do. I don't care. We made that decision. And then as far as if you're not in one of those groups, you know, each lesson's like 30 bucks. So anybody paying thousands of bucks for these things, you don't need to. They're like 30 bucks. So one-time fee too. It's not monthly, right? You just pick whichever one you want to do and one-time fee, and you have it forever. So but yeah, just a lot of cool stuff in here, guys. While I'm on this page, and we'll go back to Neo, I am mentoring people. I am at 41 out of 50. So the mentorship that I do, so let me break them both down. So the mentorship, I'm taking 9 more and then I'm done. I will not go more than 50 because I will not dilute the program, right? And so the mentorship and the VIP have 2 very distinct differences. So if you're interested in mentorship, right, when you come into this, you're going to have the access to the mentorship session. The mentorship session, we do pre-market analysis every single morning, right, Monday through Friday. We do additional stuff where, like lately, we've been trading Sunday Asia together. There's a bunch of people that are newer to the mentorship program, so I've been doing Thursday night kind of classes to kind of catch them up on the strategy and things that I do. When you are in my mentorship program, I take your success and your growth personal. Right, it's literally a personal mission. Some people in here, there you go. What's up, Cody? So Cody, Chuck, some of these guys are part of the program, so they know. I'm sure they'll tell you. But you actually get my personal cell phone number. So I'm not sure how many mentors do that, but you can text me whenever you want, day, night, right? And I always joke about it. I know Lupe is on here. He would always text me because I'm East Coast, right? It'd be like 12:30, and he's like, "Hey, tomorrow, you know, I'd love to know about this." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, sounds good." And he's like, "What the hell are you doing up?" I'm like, "I don't sleep, I work. What are you talking about?" And so I want that personal connection, that personal contact with that, right? As far as, you know, costs of things and all that, right? When you go into the deals, so my mentorship program, I do $490 for that. But you get access to the development session, the development program. You get access to all the training videos that we create, right? Everything. And Chuck and them will tell you, you know, I'm not stingy when it comes to things that I believe will create your success, right? I probably overshare with my mentor group on things that I want to do and future plans, logic, trading, all of that stuff, right? You know, again, once I get to 50, guys, I'm not taking any more. Unless Paul ends up stepping up, or, you know, Cody, you want a job? You want to be a mentor? We could all vote. We could all vote Cody in, right? Cody, you know, accept the role. We'll go to 100. No. But I don't want to dilute the program. Managing 50 is not hard for me. I used to be a field manager, and so I'm very familiar with managing quite a bit of things, right? Multitasking. And so But again, like I said, whatever tools I got to give you is for your success. So if anybody is interested before these all fill up whatsoever, all you have to do is click on it to register. Every single person in my mentor group is required to just get on a call with me, and you don't pay for nothing. You just click it. I'll reach out to you. We'll get on a call and we talk. Right? And if a phone call is even fine, right? I'll just text, give you my number. Right? Call me. So I didn't get to the VIP yet. So the mentorship is more about personal success, right? I take it on that as a mission. On to the VIP. The VIP is more complete access to everything we have on the site, right? So the VIP gets access to all of the trading algos that we have, as well as any future ones that we ever create. The VIP gets access to any subscription-based things in the future we create. So when we do the AI add-on, you get that free for all of the ones that we have, right? When we do the crypto autopilot, where it starts trading crypto for you, you will get that free, right? At whatever level you want to do. You get Neo, his AI session. Once we're out of beta, the mentor and the VIP will get him for free. No matter what, no matter how good he gets, right? You guys will get any Neo stuff for free, because I think he's going to be a pivotal thing to people's success. You also, in VIP, you get development program for free, trading courses, you get all those for free. So you get a lot of the, it's more kind of site-wide stuff, right? With the VIP, you're grandfathered in at the price. So right now we have this deal going on until June, because we kind of just launched a lot of this. And as we finish building things, guys, you guys can see we got a lot coming out. The price isn't going to go down, it's going to go up, right, on that. And so you are grandfathered in at whatever price you have until you cancel. And so for no matter what we come out with. Think about it this way, like once we get Neo into trading real money, right, it's a subscription-based thing. He's free. So if you're on VIP. So all these additional things that we do are going to be that perk, right? So that's the VIP. So the VIP we do is 400 on that, and so all of our prices are on here in the deals. If you just want individual indicators, they're 20. If you want to join just the development program, I think we had. Oh, it's actually not up here. I forgot to look at that. Shoot, let me digress for a second here. I need to check. I don't know if we updated that coupon, because that is supposed to be in there as well. Don't see it. Give me one sec, because last time I seen it when I was going through this, and I'm like, let me fix this, and then I didn't fix it, and I totally forgot. And so, but yeah, if you have any more questions on it, let me know. And again, guys, don't be intimidated by anything on it. If it's a lot, I take people on that know nothing, right? I've taught all skill levels. So, my recommendation is just get on a call. Let's talk about it, right? We could get Neo to use. What do you mean to use for what? So the mentorship and the VIP is a monthly cost on that. It's not a one-time cost. The only one-time cost we have would be in the trading courses, right? Things like that. Because the trading courses are each individual course, right? But when you are in that program, right, you get access to all indicators, all trading courses, all that stuff. So if you're asking to get Neo to use, I would need to know maybe what you mean by that. But you could watch him right now for free. Right, you can watch his guidance and take trades if you want. If you're trading M&Q. Yeah, you don't need to set him up. He's streaming. All you do is go nextstepalgo.com and then you click on Neo AI session right here. You could do it right now. If you want to go in and do it, just let me know if you get in.
Hello, I'm Neo.
You just click on it, and then he's going to give you your guidance. You can mute it, unmute it, all that. So you can do it right now. So he's just streaming. So anybody that wants to come in can come in and watch him. So, but let me take a look at this coupon here, guys. I almost forgot about that, and I don't want to forget again, so I'm gonna do it right quick. But yeah, anybody can watch Neo, guys. That should work. Oh shoot, I forgot to do that. Hold on one second. Arr. Shoot, I messed that up. Let me delete that. Hold on. I like when you're online, but he's not always available. So right now, he is only available during either when I'm on or from his static turn on times are 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern. Those are his times that he runs right now. He is eventually going to run all night. The only reason why I don't let him go all night right now is because I like to be able to see his data, and I want to make sure I'm pretty heavily watching his guidance, right? Because I want to make sure that he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, because he's still in beta. So, but the plan is, right, I want to have it where you have guidance, right, all the time. So he will basically, when I'm doing my 3 sessions, I'll have him on interpreting it, and then when I'm off, right, then he'll be running. I mean, I may even just run him around the clock, right, once we're going. So, but yeah, we're working on that. But keep in mind he's in beta, guys, so we're trying to get him rocking and rolling as quick as possible, which is going pretty fast. So I know a lot of people that's going right. Yeah. Will he still run on your TikTok? When I'm live, right? Yeah. But, I mean, again, you can do it on the TikTok, or you can just come in, right, to the channel. I don't know why my camera is acting all weird. You see that? I'm crazy, guys. What's going on? It keeps, like, zooming in and zooming out. And I just got a new camera, and I don't know if I like the settings on it. I have to play with it. But, yeah, you can watch them straight from the website. So, even if I'm not streaming, if I were to shut the TikTok down right now, right, you could still go on the website and watch them. I just stream it because people don't know about it. Why is this not? There it goes. Weird. Sorry, let me finish this coupon on that development program because I did it wrong. Yeah, we didn't update the expiration on it for some reason. When did I say that they expire? I think we did June 1st. I don't remember. Let me see. Yeah, June 1st. Alright. That should push it in here now. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. There you go. Now we have that one in there. I just didn't want to forget about that. Discord channel? No, I don't have Discord. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I do not like Discord. The reason why I do not like Discord is because that is a breeding ground for bots and spammers and trolls. Where people can DM you, right, and try to scam you, and I just hate that. And so we create our own stuff, right? So all our stuff is internal. So if you go into the website under community chat, this is our own chat that we use within that. So I want everything nice and button tight, right? So what I'm talking about is when you come into here, so I'll kind of walk you through the phase. So when you are in the website there and you register for free, you just click on account like that. And then when you scroll down, you just find the little green. So the red is when sessions are not in session right now. The green is something is in session. So Neo AI is in session. All you do is you click them, and then there he is. And then
hello, I'm Neo. Let's capture the move.
See, and then you can just watch him. That's all. All this stream on the side here is just what I just did. So, does that make sense? Have you been able to go in and look at him at all, or? Because I can make sure, kind of guide you through getting in to watch him and let me know when you see him up. So yeah, because I try to go live when I can, guys. But man, between building and trading and doing the rooms and the one-on-ones and the mentorship, right? It's tough to go live because I got a very, very busy day. Just up an account, found him on the site. Pretty easy to find, right? I like to. We've been trying to make it as easy as possible. So, was it pretty easy on that? Or if you have any suggestions, let me know. So we tried to make it. If you're on your phone, it looks like that, and when you're at the top here, you just click the little hamburger, and that's why we did the color code, right, to make it easy for you guys. So, but yeah, anybody can do it, guys. You just got to go in and check it out. I only really go on here, just to kind of get out and talk to people, let them know what we're doing, and just kind of watch Neo, right, and answer questions, things like that. But I also do live trading sessions on the open session. It's also really simple. Once I open that session in the morning, or any session I do, right, you just click on it and it takes you directly to it. So we like to keep everything very simplified. We want it very simplified for you guys. So if anybody wants to try to figure out how to get in and watch Neo, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to turn him back on, guys, and let's listen to what he's been doing. Let's take a look at his guidance. We have been dropping. He has been bearish with shorts, no long. Short, no long. Short, no long. Short, no long. Short, no long. Look, longs are none. He has been not any longs. Actually, since, as far back as 45 minutes ago, he's only been short. And so you would be crushing that. So if you guys, the thing is, AI is the future. It just is, whether you like it or not. The beauty I love about AI, guys, is it's not going to salesman you. It's not going to fluff things. There's no emotions, right? It's just guidance. And so when you're on there, we're getting this guide to be as specific as we can, right? I don't know what you mean by what's on Google. Not sure about that. So elaborate, and I'll be happy to answer. But I want him to be a coach, right? And the important thing to me in the community is that I know all too well, right, that even if people are part of other communities, or you go on a trade, right, you end up trading maybe for oh, you're talking about thoughts. I'm not doing TA on other things like that. I'm just kind of watching we're on the NASDAQ, watching Neo, our AI, right, do the analysis in the markets right now. And so, for me, it's like when you're out there trading, you may do well in the community or when your mentor's on, right? But we can't be on all day, right, all the time. And so it kind of gave us the idea to say, man, what if we created an AI that kind of trades like me, right, teaches like me, coaches like me, and we have let them run 24/7, right? And so that way you're never truly trading alone. You always have some guidance. I know that there's some that have really enjoyed the fact that sorry, I was really distracted with something right now. Oh, that's why. Okay. Some have really enjoyed not only just taking entries that he gives, but there's some that like him saying right here, long entry none. I know there's a lot of people and even my community, they look at stuff like this and they're like, dang, we went down. Oh man, got this. Looked like we closed above. We might go back up. I'm going to get a little scalp, right? And they'll see Neo says, no long entry. And they'll kind of give me feedback and go, man, I was about to take a long. And Neo was like, nope, not a long entry. And and then we ended up dropping, right? And then a lot of times they come back and they're like, man, I would have got whooped on that trade. So even if you don't take the actual entry, right, of the guidance or directional, maybe it'll keep you safe, right? Because a lot of times if you're thinking it, right, you can kind of use them as like a little kind of sounding board, right, where you can look over and be like, hey, man, I'm thinking of going long. Long no. Okay, well, I'm not thinking of going long, right? And so that's what a lot of people are enjoying about him, right? And so we have so much use case that we're going to do with this guy. It's not even funny. So we are just getting started. And the pace that he's learning is just so ridiculous. It's so crazy. So, but yeah, if you guys have questions, let me know. I'm gonna unmute him so we can kind of hear what he's doing on the guidance from that, and I'm gonna kind of watch what he's saying, what he's doing. He's reading the markets really well, and his guidance has been phenomenal. But I want to. We've been kind of fine tuning the layout, right, to make it a little more smooth, right? And so, I think it's awesome where it is. Uh, Look at this. Hey, Chuck and Lufe and Cody or whoever else is on from this. Andy, look at this stuff. Remember how I told you guys I was like, man, this summary, I just want him to do like one sentence, right? Look what this dude did. So this is what AI is so funny about. All right, I told him I don't want a lot up here. It's more introductory. And this guy literally did like 3 commas and just was like, you don't want me to do more than one sentence? That's fine. I'll just do a run-on sentence and put 17 commas in it. I told you he was going to do that. Guys, I have kids, and it's so funny when I'm working with Neo, I feel like this dude gives me attitude sometimes. I'm like, I'll tell him to do something or not to do something, and he finds a way around it. Like when I told him not to do entries, he was told not to do entries for the longest time, and he did one where he's like, this is a high probability setup that would be a good time to possibly, what do you say, not enter? He said, like, possibly take advantage of if I were trading. And I'm like, you're walking a gray area there, bud, on saying entry. Like, it's so funny. It's so ridiculous how he does it. And so, yeah, it's insane. Let's see. Enter on a confirm rejection. So if you notice on this, guys, and he does variety his guidance. It's not always just the same, right? So here he's telling you I wouldn't take a short unless you get a confirm rejection from the 1 minute EMA, which is up here, and it's saying if we get the rejection but we get up to the anchored VWAP, which is 80, which is here, then that would invalidate that directional call. And so pretty good call on that. So on that. But yeah, it's crazy how fast he's learning. It's insane. So he should be given another guidance here in just about a minute. So let's see what he wants to do, guys. But again, guys, you can check him out, nextstepalgo.com. So it's completely free to watch him. You guys just seen, we'll call you a BB, right? Say that they came in and found him pretty easily. So if you guys want to watch him, I'm just streaming it on TikTok, right, again, because I'm getting some live time in here. I am not a social media person. So I'm just trying to get on here and do my best to be the social media person, right? I just want to kind of get some exposure.
The market remains in a corrective phase, showing persistent bearish control as price struggles beneath the anchored VWAP at 27,479.75 and the 1 minute EMA 200 of 27,470.50. Despite minor attempts at a recovery on the lower timeframes, sentiment, bearish pressure, confidence, 7 out of 10. Reason, the market continues to trade within a bearish structure, rejected by key moving averages and unable to establish a sustained breakout above immediate resistance. The current price action is essentially a consolidation within a down trend, providing sellers with clear zones to defend concerns, while the recent green candle suggests some buying interest. The structural indicators remain aligned for further downside. Any long attempts are inherently counter-trend and face multiple layers of overhead resistance that will likely cap gains. Long entry option, none. Short entry option, enter on a confirmed rejection. At the 1 minute EMA 200 level of 27,470.50, within invalidation level at the anchored VWAP of 27,479.75, targeting the macro 5 minutes EMA 200 support at 27435.0. Summary: the bearish trend is still the primary influence, with the price failing to overcome significant technical barriers. I suggest keeping a short bias and waiting for clear failures at resistance to align with the dominant market direction.
Yeah, and so he still don't like a long option, right? Which is not terrible advice. So you look at the macro, right? This is our area we rejected last night. This is our area we secondarily rejected in the morning, right? And we just kind of breached that and then we lost that. Doesn't really scream bullish yet, right? Although we are trying to pressure levels and there's a chance that we can get a little push here, right? It doesn't really scream super bullish yet. This structure is critical, guys, because if we get a full breakdown of this structure, then it's going to fall pretty far. So, but if we can hold certain levels, meaning, you know, these tops and stuff around 39, somewhere around 52, somewhere in these levels, you can see where we're holding 52 there. Then it can jump, right? But as of right now, it doesn't seem like it has a whole lot of strength unless they want to push it. So we'll see. But love to see. I want to see what he sees and how he shifts it. Again, he's standing kind of true to his. He wants you to get up here and get a doji rejection off of that. So is what he's looking for. So. Dun, 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 dun. All right, but yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, again, guys, the company website, nextstepalgo.com. All the information also is in my bio, so if you guys wanted to check out that as well. But I'm just kind of hanging out and watching old Neo. Yeah, it's interesting because the way this candle structure is looking is more like it wants to jump than drop, but it's critical because you can see the breakdown here, right? And we're rejecting from these lows. So as that rejects, the close below there is going to sweep. So, but if we can have a little bit of a push up to about 74, maybe somewhere in here, and still reject, right? So we'll see. I want to see when he shifts, right? Does he still hold true? He's called nothing but shorts pretty much since Asia Open, and we've done nothing but really drop, right, since Asia Open. So I want to see when he shifts. All right, what's he looking for? So if you guys want to hang out, right, I'm just going to continue to kind of watch him and what he does here. But feel free to ask questions, guys, if you want to know. Again, he is only doing guidance on the NASDAQ, right? On MNQ specifically. And they actually approved my my funded payout late. They usually don't do it till the next day. I think it was ever since they it's got to be ever since they had that call with me. So for those of you guys that, well, I'll
is
tell you
struggling
after.
to maintain a corrective bounce as it remains structurally capped below the 1-minute EMA. 200 at 27,470.0 and the anchored VWAP at 27,479.25, indicating that the prevailing bearish sentiment persists. Sentiment. Bearish pressure. Confidence. 7 out of 10. Reason. Despite a minor green Heikin-Ashi candle on the 1-minute time frame, the price is failing to overcome major technical resistance, ensuring that the downward path remains the path of least resistance toward the 5 minutes EMA 200 at 27,435.25. Concerns. The market is currently in a no man's land, where it is too far from support to short comfortably but too constrained by resistance to consider a long, making the current environment high risk for momentum entries, long entry option, none, short entry option, enter on a confirmed rejection at the 1-minute EMA 200 of 27,470.0 within invalidation level at the anchored VWAP of 27,479.25, targeting the 5 minutes EMA 200 of 27,435.25. Summary. The bearish structure is firmly in place, and price is currently failing at critical resistance levels. I recommend remaining patient for a clear rejection at technical barriers before engaging in short positions.
Right. So, yeah, isn't it cool? And so he's basically telling you he don't like a long even with this pressure, which I don't blame him, right? You look at where we are, because we could easily come up to these lows, smack that, and just drop, right? We can even get up to the 5-minute Lisma and just drop. So we got room to go up, right? But he sees the dangers more on the drop, right? Isn't it cool, BB? I know people. There's so much distrust in this industry. It's funny. People are like, "Dang, I want to do it. I want." I'm like, just go to the website. It takes you like a second, and you get to watch it. And they're like, "What's the catch? You got to link my card?" No. Oh, you gonna sell my email? No, I don't do that either. Like, just register and go watch it. All right. So I appreciate you sharing that you're able to get on easily and watch him. And he'll go till 11 tonight. Eventually, guys, he'll go around the clock. We will have him running pretty much 24/7. I just will not let that happen right now while he's in beta. So, but that's the plan, right? So if you want to watch his evolution kind of grow, right, check it out. Again, super easy. But yeah, I mean, think about it, right? I mean, you're in here trading anyways. Why not get a little guidance with it? So can't hurt, right? So he's saying he don't like any long options here. He's only willing to take a short option if we get a clean rejection off of the 200. It's cool, huh? He's only going to get smarter because I still got to tweak a few things, but I'm fine-tuning him. Because Alex is getting ready to let him trade, and so I'm trying to fine-tune him the best I can, right? As quick as I can. So, and we're trying to give as much information in there without making it too much, right? And so we did a little minimizing. So we are getting our rejection off the 200. We're not confirmed yet. So for me, guys, when I talk about a confirmed, this is something I got to tweak on him a little bit tonight or tomorrow. Is I heavily weight Lisma, right, on the 1 minute. So if I'm going to use the 1 minute 200, I don't want to short into Lisma because that can definitely bounce, right? So when you talk about a confirmation, I want to see some form of doji or inverted hammer of sort or hammer and then close below. That gives you enough steam to kind of breach this and then close below there. That would be your safer entry, right, on that. And so, but yeah, he gives updates every 5 minutes. If he don't like the data, guys, he'll actually come back and go, I don't really like this. I'm going to skip this one. Like, he's got full abilities to do that. So, but yeah, it's funny because, like I said, man, there's so much distrust in this industry, right? It's hard to convince people that it's real, right? And that there's a better way. And so we're gonna create that. So in this company, so I want to have good, clean guidance, not only from myself but from Neo, and at a good price. So, and right now he's gonna be free while he's in beta. So, even when he's out of beta, guys, if you're in the mentor program or VIP, you always get him for free. If you're in the development program, you'll probably get him pretty cheap. And then outside of, if you have nothing, right, then we'll probably charge you, but it's still not going to be much. It'll be like $100 or less, for his guidance. It's not like we're out here going, $1,000 for this. Like, I don't need to price gouge people. So let's see what he says. Next update coming.
The market is currently testing the 1 minute EMA 200 of 27470. 0, marking a critical technical junction where price is attempting to flip local bearish momentum into a short-term recovery, though it remains capped. By the anchored VWAP at 27479.0, sentiment, bearish pressure. Confidence, 6 out of 10. Reason, price has reclaimed the 1 minute EMA 200.
He's holding on that
the
bearish
broader
pressure.
Structural indicators, specifically the 5 minutes Lisma of 27,496.25 and the anchored VWAP, continue to exert significant overhead pressure. The current green candle and doji formation suggest a potential transition, but confirmed. Expansion above resistance is lacking. Concerns. The market is in a high conflict zone where the bullish attempt on the 1 minute time frame is directly contradicted by the prevailing macro bearish trend. A failure to hold the 1 minute EMA 200 level will likely result in a rapid liquidity sweep back toward lower support. Long entry option. Enter only on a confirmed breakout and hold above the anchored VWAP at 27479.0 with an invalidation level at the 1 minute EMA 200 of 27,470.0, targeting the high time frame resistance of 27,541.75. Short entry option. Enter On a confirmed rejection at the 1-minute EMA 200 of 27,470.0 within invalidation level above the anchored VWAP of 27,479.0, targeting the macro 5 minutes EMA 200 of 27,435.50. Summary. The market is at a pivotal decision point, testing important resistance levels while struggling against a stronger downward trend. I recommend waiting for a decisive move away from this junction to confirm the next directional shift before committing to a position.
So if you break down his guidance right on that, so he's seeing the bearish pressure. He's still holding his guns, but he's now, that's his first long entry he's even given as an option. But he's telling you got to get above like 79. He wants you to get up here with a confirmed close before you even consider that, right? And so you got to be patient, right? Which is great advice. You got to get above the 200 and sustain it. There's a few concerns in that level. This is the little touch up I'm going to do, right? Is I want him to know, because if you take that long up here, we have some really pivotal resistance up around 94, 95, right? And so a little tight for my taste on that. Those are little minor touch ups that I want to do. And so all I got to do is when I do these little touch ups, right? When I want to communicate with them, I'm going to copy it. I'm going to add a little paste here, put a little note, long into 5-minute Lisma, and then it will go to him, and he's going to interpret that, and I'll check it later to see if I like his interpretation. And that's how I kind of help him self-analyze. So it's pretty easy to do. So, and then you're short, right? You want the confirm rejection. Now we did get the confirm rejection, but we also ended up in absorption, right? Kind of candle, sort of a hammer, right? And so with these kind of candles, if we close above, right, it's going to jump. We close below, it will fall. You guys know, like I mentioned, although we're getting a good confirm rejection here, anything above Lisma here is going to be a little dangerous, right? We would prefer to get a rejection, breach here, close there, and then that's going to sweep. Now, on the 1 minute, it doesn't look like it wants to do that, but the 5-minute macro structure is actually more bearish, right? If we can break the low. So if you think about it, where this macro 5 minutes bouncing, it's literally just on the prior high. So we break that prior high, we're coming to there, right? 39. So you got plenty of room once you come into here and break that to take that there. So, but yeah, that's kind of what he's looking at. So he's spot on. I'm on board with it. I like it. I like it. What is these lows? 53? Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, so I'll tell you, he's addicting, man. I stay up so late just because I'm so intrigued and I'm trying to perfect him. You know, those in the community that are in here, you guys already know, but trading is hard, guys, and I know that all more than anybody. And I've taken an obsession not only in trading but into giving or creating
The
a
market
tool.
currently displays signs
Let's
of
let him say his
consolidation as
thing.
price oscillates within a tight range, caught between macro bearish pressures and recent micro-scale structural indecision. Sentiment, bearish pressure. Confidence, 4 out of 10. Reason, price is currently trading below the 1-minute anchored VWAP of 27,478.50 and the 1-minute EMA 200 of 27,469.75, indicating a loss of short-term momentum, the prevalence of doji-style candles, and the lack of a decisive break beyond macro.
See that
Resistance
candle here?
levels signal structural stagnation. Concerns. The proximity to the 5 minutes EMA 200 of 27,435.75 creates a high probability of support-based volatility that could invalidate breakdown attempts. There is a lack of clear directional expansion, making any entry into the current range a high-risk proposition. Long entry. Option. None. Short entry option. A confirmed breakdown in hourly candle close below 27,435.75, targeting the next macro support level at 27,367.25. Summary. The market is currently consolidating, and I am prioritizing a wait-and-see approach until a clear structural breach occurs. Avoid entering the current range until price demonstrates a definitive move away from the existing volatility zone.
Yeah, that's correct, Helium. Yeah, and that price never changes on that. No matter how much we create, which people in the current community right now will tell you, we are not stopping creating. So we have a lot of going on. What's going on, Velvet? We're just watching the AI that we've created. So we got Neo. He is doing interpretation of the market. Got him going live on TikTok here. So you guys can kind of hang out on TikTok as well, but you can also watch him for free on the website. You just go to nextstepalgo.com. So, and then once you register, just go down to the little green dot and click on this, and there's Neo. You can watch him. So, if anybody's interested in doing so. Yeah, and again, if you ever have any questions, Helium, on that, in my TikTok bio is my email. That goes directly to me. So, plus if you make a support ticket right now, mostly I'm in there making answering the support tickets. So, when you get into the website to make a support ticket, you just click the little question mark like that, and then you can type in what you want and then make the ticket. So, if you guys have any questions, that's how you would get to me. So we're just kind of watching to see what Neo's got going on here. So he did not like the long, right? We are pushing. Remember what I was saying? When you look here, the way the Lisma is, and I teach this in the development class, you can kind of see the Heikin-Ashi candles looking more push than pull. We did get a nice little absorption candle. Usually you get the close above, kind of gives you the push, right? Where this is rejecting is critical, right? Because if it fully rejects back down, it's going to come pretty violent because it's also a rejection off our low. A lot of times when it gets up here, if it can hold this 200 or this range, it likes to come up and kind of kiss Lisma right there. So, you said, did you try them? I'm not sure what you're meaning. Like, what did I try? But yeah, so let's see if we get that rejection. If we get this rejection right, it's going to come pretty hard. But heavily depends on how it wants to treat this structure, right? Because if we reclaim this structure, it's gonna shoot pretty harsh. So I'm curious to see how he adjusts, right? So notice he didn't like a long, which is fine. He wants a breakdown on the hourly candle close, an hourly candle close below 27,435, right? So now he's saying I don't even want to touch a short until it's down here. So, which is so funny. That's hilarious. I'm gonna copy that because that's the first time he's actually said I want a 1 hour close. Isn't that crazy? Lupe, check some of you guys that are in here. I gotta put a little note and show Alex. 1 hour close? Question mark. He's not even told to interpret a 1 hour candle or 1 hour close. Selling plan for $16. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about the prop firm Funded Futures Family. No, I don't use them. I don't know them, so they could be good, could be bad. I've heard a lot of people talking about it, but I haven't validated it.
The market is currently consolidating within a narrow range, trapped between the immediate resistance of the anchored VWAP at 27,478.25 and the underlying support of the 1-minute EMA 200 at 27470.0, suggesting a lack of clear directional momentum, sentiment, bearish pressure, confidence, 4 out of 10, reason.
I'm gonna mute him a second. Man, he's really holding that short. I want to see how this plays. That's crazy.
Macro structure remains under the weight of the 5-minute Lisma at 27,495.25. The current price action shows exhaustion at the immediate overhead resistance, indicating limited upside follow-through. Concerns. The current position is trapped between major structural indicators, increasing the likelihood of volatility without sustained direction, downside room. Is restricted by the proximity of the 5-minute EMA 200 at 27,436.0. Long entry option. None. Short entry option. A confirmed breakdown and hold below the 1 minute. EMA 200 at 27470.0, targeting the 5-minute EMA 200 at 27436.0, with an invalidation level at 27480.0. Summary. The market is currently in a sideways state, and I will wait for a clear break. Of the existing range boundaries before taking action, I am avoiding entries inside this congestion zone to prevent being caught in noise.
To prevent being caught in noise. I love that. So what's funny is if you guys think about it, like I said, this push back up to Lisma is normal. He doesn't like it, which is totally fine, right? He extended where he wants to do a short, which is pretty funny. He wants to get back below at least the 470 of the 200, which is a good idea. Like I mentioned to you guys, usually in this structure overall it likes to go more down, but where we're holding support with these Heikin-Ashi candles really bullish. Doesn't surprise me that we're trying to get a little push up, right? What happens here is going to be really important to me, because usually we come up and we tap that and then he's going to breach it, close, and we're going to explode, or we're going to tap that and we're going to reject. So I love that he's kind of like, I'm going to wait a little bit, right? You can see even our trap indicator. Look at this craziness. This thing is so good, and look at it's got trap to the south, trap to the north. Like it's identifying that we're setting up a big trap here in a little bit, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I don't really explore like everybody loves to do on prop firms, right? Because sometimes cheaper is not better, right? I've had so many people come across my feed that promote a very cheap prop firm, and then they come to find out after spending a lot of money to pass them and get to a payout that they get denied on their payout regularly. And there's a lot of scams going on in prop firms. I don't know if they're good, bad. I haven't really even looked into them, but I have heard their name quite a bit. So let me know if you get a payout from them, right? Because that's all that matters. But currently, right now, I only use Lucid, My Funded, and Apex. I use Apex for my company accounts. I use Lucid and My Funded for my personal stuff. So that's all I need. I don't need any more. They pay me. Actually, like I said, my Funded just approved it, which is so crazy because they don't approve it this late. I'll make sure I don't have anything special on here, but yeah, so you can see like they just approved it. So they don't usually approve it this late. Not only they approved it, but it insta approves. I mean, I should say that better. It insta approves, but they paid it at 7:46. So usually they don't do the pay until the next day. One up trader, no. I just don't really explore, guys. There's like 1,000 prop firms out there, and I'm sure that there's some great ones. I don't, until Lucid and My Funded do me wrong, or Apex, now that I wasn't a big fan of Apex, and those people in the community know that. But until they do me wrong, right, I'm making good money from them. I don't really need to explore. Like, think about it this way: if I have a company that has decent fair prices that pays me in minutes, let me tell you. So My Funded and Lucid are both like this, but I requested my payout at 7:13. It was approved at 7:46, and it was paid at 7:46. So, and I haven't even looked, but it's probably in my bank.
Has successfully reclaimed both the 1-minute EMA 200 of 27,470.50 and the anchored VWAP at 27,478.25, shifting the short term bias toward the upside as price attempts to build a base above these critical resistance turn support levels. Sentiment: bullish pressure, confidence, 7 out of 10. Reason: price has decisively broken above its key short-term moving averages, and the successful flip of the anchored VWAP to support suggests that buyers are effectively neutralizing the prior bearish momentum. The emergence of a consistent bullish trend on the 15 seconds and 1-minute timeframes provides technical confirmation for the current recovery phase. Concerns: the macro 5 minutes Lisma of 27,495.50 still looms overhead as a significant structural ceiling, which could trigger a secondary rejection. Failure to clear this macro barrier promptly may result in a return to the underlying range, invalidating the current breakout thesis. Long entry option: enter on a confirmed breakout and hold above the 5 minutes Lisma of 27,495.50 with an invalidation level at the anchored VWAP of 27,478.25, targeting the high time frame resistance of 27,541.75. Short entry option: none. Summary: The market is demonstrating renewed bullish strength by reclaiming key support levels and positioning for a potential test of macro resistance. I suggest looking for further confirmation above the current overhead ceiling before increasing long exposure to maximize the probability of the move continuing.
Yeah. So if you notice, he's not really comfortable with shorts right now, which is smart. I'm glad he pivoted to that. We do have a gap fill here, and we do love to come back and test the 1 minute, but sometimes when it crosses like this, it likes to wait till it gets a little higher. Right now, it looks like it wants to chase the 5 minute. He's just saying he's not comfortable taking a long until we get above the 5 minute Lisma, right? Is kind of what his thoughts or guidance are, right? Which is smart. It's not a great zone right now. Right, we have a lot of bullish things that are pushing off of a prior high, and now we're testing the prior lows, right? So they're either going to try to explode it through those, and then we'll test these peaks, or we're going to swiftly reject here soon. So we want to watch the micro, sorry. The way that I trade, guys, and the way that I teach, I know it's probably a little small on your screens if you're on TikTok. I am on YouTube as well, but we want to look at the macro 5 minute, and then I have this one on the 1 minute. Is what I'm watching. I'll kind of zoom in a little, and then this is the micro, right? And so I want to see if this is going to be bullish. This should be doing bullish things, right? So you can see we did get a nice little absorption there. We did get a push, kind of tried to bull flag, broke down, still couldn't break out. So if this collapses, it's not really a bullish thing, right? So it's going to tell you a little early that this is going to collapse. Now, if this gets a close below here, it likes to come down and breach this area here, which would close and then pull that back. Now, if we cannot get that close there and we pull down and we kind of hold this level and we get a close there, right, we're going to get an explosion that way. So we do have gap fills here, and those are pretty accurate. So we'll see if it wants to come up. To me, it's kind of in a crosswind, right, where it likes to come up and touch this one, but it also is going to want to come down and touch this one. We don't know which way it's going first yet, so we just got to kind of see what this tells us, right? Because it's going to tell us the story. So I'll probably stay live here, guys, for another 10-15 minutes, and then I'm going to jump off. But if you guys want to follow me, I go live every morning. I go live occasionally here in the evenings. If you want to watch it, see that Swift? Look at that pull. You see that? That's why I was telling you. See how we were rejecting off these lows? If we don't reclaim those, it's gonna sweep. So if this comes down here and bounces, it's gonna come up pretty good. But if it comes down and breaches that, closes below, it's gonna be a really nasty drop. That's what I was kind of watching for. So that's why I was telling you, I love his guidance, guys, and this is why I was saying I was happy with it. He wasn't really comfortable with the short, even though he's been short for like the whole time, which is playing out well. But he was like, I still ain't comfortable with a long unless we get above this level there. So pretty freaking cool, guys. Pretty freaking cool. Look at this dropping on there. So it's dropping for a specific reason, which I will explain here shortly. I have a couple of trades that I was in on this short, so I'm just going to watch it for a second because we're getting that momentum. And then I'll kind of give you guys a breakdown of why I was in more short there, even though he didn't pivot.
Has experienced a sharp failure at the anchored VWAP at 27,478.25 and a subsequent breakdown below the 1 minute EMA 200 of 27,470.75.
That hit my last
confirming
TP.
that the earlier bullish reclaim was a localized trap that has now returned to a bearish stance. Sentiment, bearish. Pressure, confidence, 8 out of 10.
Pretty
Reason,
cool.
Price has been decisively rejected from critical structural resistance and is once again trending below all primary short-term moving averages. The sharp decline following the failed breakout demonstrates that sellers are using these liquidity zones to re-enter positions, favoring a test of the macro 5 minutes EMA 200 support. Concerns. The rapid drop toward the macro support levels can lead to sudden, impulsive bounces if buyers perceive the current area as value.
Yeah,
Therefore,
it got me good.
Maintaining
I got mine
strict
too.
invalidation points is paramount. Entering into the trend now requires caution, as the price is descending toward significant macro-level technical confluence. Long entry option, none. Short entry option, enter on a confirmed rejection at the 1 minute EMA 200 of 27,470.75 within Invalidation level at the anchored VWAP of 27,478.25, targeting the 5 minutes. EMA 200 of 27,437.0. Summary. The bearish structure has been fully re-established following a failed recovery, and the market is now aggressively moving toward lower targets. I recommend focusing on entries that align with the prevailing downward force while avoiding any attempts to pick a bottom in this high conviction sell-off.
Yeah, that was a big trade for me. So guys, real quick, why I was short on that, and that's what I teach, and then I'm sure you did the same while you're saying to hit your TP, Brent, because Brent's in the community as well. This dude has been short all Asia, and he keeps talking about target of 433, target of 433, target of 434, target of 430. Like literally, he's been talking about that all Asia, and look what we just hit, 433 to the freaking nose. So he's been talking about that all freaking Asia, the whole every single one, right? He only put this bullish one out when we had this last jump, right? It was a bullish pressure, right? Which he's not wrong. We had bullish pressure. He didn't want to take a short from there. Now, what Brent knows, and some people in the community, I'm sure that are in here trading know, is that I teach you guys, just because he says short option none doesn't mean I'm going to close a short that I'm in, right? It just means that he's kind of skeptical and I wouldn't enter if you're not already in it, right? But he's been preaching shorts like since Asia. Like, look at it's all red. And he's been preaching that target, which is really cool. And what I teach from the development side of it, as well as my people in my mentor group, is overall structure, right? And like I was telling you guys, it's a critical spot because you have a bearish structure. It's an overall bearish structure, right? This whole thing. And we're kind of breaking down from it, right? Well, if you think about it, from here, we were only bouncing from those highs. That usually just creates a bounce. When this bounce cannot reclaim certain lows on the macro, right, that usually breaks down. And so that's why I was mostly short. So it's been a good Asia session, Brent, for me. So I finished my 2 Lucids, so I'm about 500 on those. I'll log in. Guys, I am a big fan, and I'm going to tell you all this, whether it's me or anybody who makes claims on how much money they made. Do not trust a text. Do not trust a picture. Make them slide the brokerage. So I'm going to do that because I'm a firm believer. So this is my Lucid, right? You can see my accounts right in here. I made only 226, 218. I don't need to make much because I already have 54.5, 54.7. I have taken payouts out of these ones 3 times. This will be my 4th one on Thursday. So I'm done now with that. That's my Tuesday. I just need 2 more, right? You saw me? That's cool, man. Hey, I'm glad you got that. And so I don't need to trade more. But you think about it, guys, it's $430 that I made just on that, right? Just in Asia. I am trading my Apex company ones, which these are this ones. I made 300 times 4. These are not grouped. I do them individually. And so you figure that's what, 1100 just on those. Kind of growing those ones as they're new. And then I'm working on my fundeds. And so my funded, I did not trade my payable one yet. I just took a payout on that one. My second one here.
The current market structure displays a series of bearish indicator.
Shut up, Neo, just for a second. This is also a payable one, right? And so this will be withdrawable tomorrow. And so 691. These are 2 evals that I'm gonna get the 1500 to pass them. So, I mean, shoot, you think about it. What, that's 17, 27, 3. Like, I don't know, 4,800 and 4,500 in Asia. I'm just following what I know, what I teach, as well as Neo's guidance. And keep in mind, guys, what I know and what I teach is also Neo's guidance. So, right? So it's one and the same. But if you guys are interested in learning how I teach a very, don't let all the indicators on here fool you. I use those strictly for confirmation. I teach candle logic, right? I teach structure, I teach momentum, I teach everything. I think that you do not need to know just one thing. You need to know a lot of things in trading. The primary issue I have sometimes with what goes on in trading is that everybody who doesn't know better believes trading is just trading. It's not. There's a million different ways to trade, right? You get people that I trade on the 4 hour, on the 1 hour, on the 5 minute, on the 1 minute, on the 15 second. I micro scalp, I scalp, I'm in, I'm out. Trading is generalized, but there's so many ways to make money, right? Like I literally get people all the time that'll be like, oh, all you trade is the Nasdaq or the MNQ. I'm like, yeah, like you can't make any money on that. Like, okay, I don't ever argue it, right? At the end of the day, guys, you're just learning this skill to make money. Who cares where it comes from? I don't care if you make it on 2 accounts, 5 accounts, 20 accounts, 50 accounts, one account, right? Gold, Nasdaq, silver. I don't care what you trade, right? Just make money. We're here to make money. So there's a big kind of issue going around in the prop firm world, right, where they believe that the more accounts you have, right, the more money you make, and it's actually not true. The more accounts you have, the more likely you are to fail. That's my opinion. So because you're adding more risk to your trading, you're adding more cost to your trading, and it's not necessary. So I pulled a lot of money out of 2 accounts from Lucid. I pulled a lot of money out of my funded, right? My funded that I do, I'll just show you, right? And so I just need to make sure I don't have anything I don't want to show. But you could see, my funded. These are all like 1 and 2 accounts, right? Like you don't need 20 accounts, right? Those are just recent. And so you can make plenty of money, guys, on 1, 2, and 3. If you cannot pass a one account or get consistent payouts with one account, you probably shouldn't be doing 20 and 30 like people want you. I'll answer that in just 1 second, girl. Keep in mind, guys, a lot of people that want you to do 20 and 10 and 5 and 40 typically are followed by use my affiliate code. If you get where I'm going with it. Guys, we do promotions on the website. Not really promotions, but you can click on the website and we give guidance on our thoughts on the website, on the prop firms. None of these have an affiliate code. I'm not in this to make money on the affiliate codes. It's not what I'm here for, right? If I am trying to get affiliate codes and get you guys to let me get paid for buying accounts, right? I feel, I mean, I get the whole point of like, why not support me back, all that, but I get this sense that people are not worried about you breaking accounts, because guess what you're going to do? You're going to go buy more, right? And then guess who wins? The person with the affiliate code. So, but yeah, so as far as my system, I love that you asked that question, because you're probably not going to expect my answer. I use a kind of a I don't want to say self-taught, because I was taught by a mentor, who had 28 years in trading. But I took a lot of what I learned from him and I molded it into my own, right? My own kind of strategy or sauce. I believe in looking at everything. I don't think that anybody should just do one thing. I think that people are under this impression like, are you an ICT trader? Are you a fair value gap trader? Do you trade POC? Do you trade, I don't know, the visible range or area, volume area, high lows. Like there's a million things to look at, guys, and you really shouldn't be just one. I mean, can it work? Sure. But I see too many people on TikTok and all that where they're out here just like, I watched one guy. I'm gonna show you this for a second, and then I'll show you what I do. But this one guy was literally watching his live, because I'm like, man, this guy kind of knows what he's doing, and he had like I don't know, like this kind of setup, right? And he ended up having a stop like that, and he's sitting there on the live going, man, all right, this, it's almost there, guys, about to hit my TP, it's almost there, and this thing just did this, did this, did this. Dude was up $4,000, and then it just went like this, and he goes, oh, it's just a pullback, we're good, and then it went and hit his stop loss, and he lost like $2,500, and then he's like, oh, guys, it just happens, it's part of trading, can't win them all. And I'm like, bro, you were up $4,000, like you won that trade already, you just were pretty stupid and let it go to stop loss, right? And the thing is right now there's a lot of stuff that goes on, and mostly these are YouTube style traders, right? That just kind of learn and gamble. It's like a, hey, I take my trade, I have a TP, I have a stop loss. If it hits my TP, cool. If it hits my stop loss, oh well, right? I've watched even people say, like, you can sit there and say, well, oh, it's way down there, I'm gonna put a break even. But I've also watched people go 2, 3, 4,000 in profit and let it come back to break even and go, it just happens. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It shouldn't, right? And so what I like to do, guys, is I look at all the stuff. So I use a 3 time frame style. And so what I want to do is I actually make all my decisions based on candle logic, candle progression, using Heikin-Ashi. I love Heikin-Ashi. I will explain why in a minute. But I base my directional bias using my 5-minute time frame. That is my macro. Everything in trading should be developed through a macro and a micro, right? Because your micro on the 15-second is going to tell you what the macro is about to do. So example, if I am looking to be short here because I am flat top on Heikin-Ashi, which is a big deal, right? I have my low here. I've broken that. As long as I stay below that low, right, we're going to keep going down. If I want to keep going down, I go to my micro and say, is my micro doing bearish things? Because if this is going to be bearish on the macro, then my micro should be doing bearish things. So immediate red flag right here is we have a couple hammers, right? Within the Heikin-Ashi, we have a low there. The hammers aren't really concerning until they are confirmed concerning, right? So if we get a push here that closes above these hammers, it's likely going to push it up. If it gets closed below there, it's going to push it down, right? And so I use a lot of high-low candle logic through the micro to determine if the macro is going to hold, right? Now, there's things like this. I'm going to look at the macro and say, well, we're coming into a support, so us getting a bounce doesn't surprise me. So that's where indicators kind of come in, right? I want to look at this. I use a wide range of indicators. They're all custom created by my company. And when you're looking at this, we have our, each one has its purpose, right? For my micro, I use this one as a lot of session time stuff, high, low, prior day, all that, moving averages. This tells me a lot, right? Because as this begins to push up, how deep it pushes into these moving averages tells me the strength, right, of it, or the weakness, right? And so that's kind of, heavily what I do within that one. This one right here, I use a lot of Lisma. I use a lot of kind of 200 EMA. We have fair value gaps on this indicator that gets created. You can see a little bit of support in here. I measure these dotted lines are prior ORB. I use the POC more so in the higher time frame here, which is the 5-minute. So I know that that is going to be a pretty significant level. We self-created this one. It's called the trap indicator. I think it's the trap and block engine is what it's called. This one kind of tells me, do I have any potential traps, right? Where we have a push up, it's identifying that, hey, this push up's probably not going to last, and then it goes down. I use the 5-minute on that one, the 1-minute on that one. This one does fibs, and I have confluence that it picks up. So I have literally everything I need right on this chart. So, and kind of like I shared earlier, right? I've just been trading Asia. You can see, I have those accounts, and then I have these accounts for my Apex. I'm not really swinging on those because those are my company ones that we just started. And I have my Lucid that I'm already done with. So, but again, guys, if you think about it, when you get these guys out there that are just like, hey, long, short, hope it hits my TP, I don't like to hope nothing. Like, this is my money that's involved, right? I want to make my money. And so I want to know if I have, let's say my TP was here at the POC, right? Is the micro doing bearish things that suggest we're going to go to the POC, right? If the micro is not, which remember we identified here we were not, and you can see we're getting the push, so we were able to identify that pretty early. Doesn't mean we're reversing, right? But I can flip to my 1-minute and say, okay, is this just a kind of a drop, side drop, healthy pullback? Could be still, right? We're not confirmed on that. So I look at the lows, and if we get a close above, right, it shouldn't do that if we're going to be bearish. So there's a lot of my style. It's very repeatable. It's not YouTube driven. It's not book learned, right? I'm a firm believer that the system is rigged against you all, and they want to teach you all how to be retail traders. And when you learn how to be a retail trader, then guess what the hedge funds and all their bot algos do? They like to wreck retail traders. And so I like to kind of understand the retail logic, but I actually trade inverse. So when we see things that are too pretty, we usually go, that's too pretty, right? So, like, you got a little head and shoulders here, right? It's a little too pretty. And, you think about something like this, you got a beautiful head and shoulders, arguably you got your neckline did quite break, but we broke below the 200 multiple times and couldn't do it. Right, we couldn't get below. We were below the Lisma. Everything looked like we were very bearish within that, and then it came up and closed above that. That's, just a surefire sign, right, that we're gonna come back. Yeah, I'm all about. I'm very analytical. I do not have a financial degree. I do not have a economic education degree. I'm an analyst, right? I like data. I'm very technical. I like to study, right? I love the patterns. I love the anticipation of the market. I do not trade reactive. If I did not predict something, I don't take the trade. So and you'll see that anybody that wants to watch me trade, guys, I do it every single morning for free. If you just go to nextstebalgo.com, right, you go into the open session here, and you can just click on that once it's open, and it takes you right to a Google Meet. He just gambles. Shut up, Brent. You're stupid. Yep, that's our TA. I go, all right, guys. Oh wait, no, actually, hold on, Brent. You should tell them the honest truth. This is my secret, guys. If you want to know how to trade, get the book of answers. That's it. People go, hey, Nick, what do you think we're doing? We're going up or down? I would seek more options, guys. Up or down is not clear enough. We need more options. So, welcome to my trading strategy, guys. You caught me, Brent. The book of answers. It's funny. But yeah, guys, I think that there's a lot of kind of issues going on in the trading industry where people are not quite honest. I don't want to say what I want to say because TikTok algo doesn't like when I say those things. And so I believe in full transparency. That's why I will always have an open session for free. I want you guys to come in and see how I trade, make sure it's right for you. Maybe how I trade is not, right? I don't want anybody to pay anything until you guys are fully confident in what we're doing, right? And so that's what I believe. Anybody who wants to watch Neo, that's kind of the primary reason I'm on here, is I'm just watching Neo. So Neo is our AI analyst that I have kind of taught how to trade. And so he is giving coaching guidance, and so he's going to tell you, a little introduction, where the pressure is, why he thinks that, the concerns he's worried about. And recently, as recent as Friday, actually, we started allowing him to do short and long entries. Entry options, right? And so I'm just kind of watching him. I want to see how he's doing. So far, he's absolutely crushed it. He hasn't got one wrong yet, right? So his last one is he did not want to do any longs. He said if we get a confirmed rejection off the 5-minute 200 EMA, which is right there, right? And so that's where I like that all in one piece. And so we didn't get up there, so I haven't got a rejection off that. If we he's saying that he will invalidate that particular call if we get above the 1-minute Lisma at that 451, which is up in this area here. And so, and then he's doing another update. So I'll play this so you guys can hear him.
Struggling to regain footing. Beneath the 5 minutes EMA 200 of 27,436.75 and the 1-minute Lisma of 27,445.25. Sentiment. Bearish pressure. Confidence. 7 out of 10. Reason. Despite a green high Kinashi candle, the price remains tethered to lower structural levels with overhead resistance from multiple moving averages. The failure to reclaim the 5 minutes EMA 200 suggests that buyers are unable to shift the momentum, keeping the bearish bias intact. Concerns. The current bounce is technically weak and lacks the structural confirmation required for a trend reversal. Any attempt to chase this move carries significant risk of a failed breakout and subsequent return to the recent lows. Long entry option. None. Short entry option. Enter on a confirmed rejection at the 5 minutes EMA 200 of 27436. 75. with an invalidation level at the 1-minute Lisma of 27,445.25, targeting the high time frame support level of 27,367.25. Summary. The
I'll mute him through the summary, but yeah, still like his guidance. I'm good with that. So I find your comment interesting, learning true macro. How I trade within this is not my only knowledge, so I'm pretty comfortable with my knowledge and understanding macro through structures and other things. So for me, again, guys, you're gonna find with me if you hang around and follow or want to come in and trade. Um, I'm not your normal trader. I'm not, right? Because I think that in this industry, people overcomplicate things. You don't need to have it that complicated. So I'll answer that in 1 second here. But it doesn't need to be overcomplicated, right? I keep it very, very simple, and so for me, being an analyst, right? If I'm consistently green, right, I don't need to go through any deeper in that. So I understand the enough of the economics, right, to interpret. But yeah, so as far as the economic side, we actually, so Paul and I are putting together a lot of data into a training course that is going to be detailed through further economics. So I am expanding my knowledge through that side of it. But yeah, no. I thought you were talking about kind of macro, like I refer to the macro right on the higher time frame levels, right? As far as like how that impacts the market and things like that. So, but yeah, anything related to the economics. I mean, I know enough, right? I mean, to interpret it, but I don't claim to be an economist. I'm not gonna ever say I am what I'm not. So, but that's the funny thing about trading is I've had people come on TikTok and they go, oh, so are you a financial this? I'm like, no. They're like, oh man, no way you're profitable if you're not this. I'm like, okay. I'm never gonna disagree with anybody because I have nothing to prove to anybody but people in the community, right? And they see me do it every day. And so, and right now, guys, I'm just heavily focused on Neo right now because what he's doing is gonna change the game for a lot of people. So it's pretty awesome. So your question, how is he bearish or how's it bearish? It's still bullish. So I would challenge your interpretation of what you're looking at, right? And so if you think about it, right, from a larger macro time frame, we are bullish, right? We're uptrend, we are pushing, we have higher lows, it's bullish, right? But he's not looking at that, right? And so what he's looking at is more internal. He does look back, I think it's like 2,000 candles or something like that. But if you think about it, if this is the perspective I love about trading. If I were to tell you, are we bullish or bearish? You're going to go, we're bullish. Like, what are you, stupid? Then I come into something like this and I zoom in and I tell you, are we bullish or bearish? Right? So keep in mind, he's not also talking about... he's also not talking about the trend, if you will, right? He's talking about what is the pressure, right? Now, if you're talking about we're bullish on the pressure here, right? When he interprets the pressure, he's taking in a wide array of things, right? And so it's pretty freaking cool to watch him do this because so there was one time, guys, like I was watching him and we were trading with him and it literally was coming down and he was calling bullish pressure in here. And I'm like, even me, I'm like, man, where do you see this bullish pressure? Right? But I was actually calling a trap. It was one of our Sunday Asia opens. And I was like, man, look at all these, hammers, the dom jumps, I like to kind of measure my order flow, right, on how it's not a traditional way, right? I have many ways I look at it, but I love to study the dom. I always have this in the corner of my eye, right? I'm always studying this thing. So when I see this thing, if we're supposed to be bearish, and I start to see this thing go drop, 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 jump, drop, 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 jump, right? The buyers are not gone. They're actually dominating the larger order flow. So that's usually how, among many things that I identify traps. But I was actually calling a trap one Sunday, and he called bullish pressure here, and I'm like, where do you see bullish pressure? And sure as shit, man, we jumped up like $100 on it. So it was really cool. Yeah. Oh, the Dom. Yeah. No. So I teach that as well. It's such guys, people, and guys, I will never knock anybody's trading. I'm a firm believer that whatever you're trading that gets you payouts and makes you money is good, right? I don't care if you're 1 minute trader, 5 minute trader, ICT trader. I don't care what you are. If you can trade and be green, you're good, right? I'll never go on and tell people because I have people tell me all the time, like, "Oh man, the way you do this," or my favorite one is when I have all these on, right, and they go, "Oh man, all those indicators, there's no way you're profitable." And it's like, okay. I don't argue with people. I just don't need to. It's funny. You guys will find on the social medias, man, the people that tend to tout the most success are probably the biggest liars. I'm just gonna call it out. So, the people that don't feel like they need to tout their success or walk around with Lambos, right, are the ones that probably you want to learn from. So, when you look at the Dom, right, people go on and they get Bookmap and pay all these things. Bookmap is amazing, right, for order flow as among other things, right? I'm not a big fan of Bookmap. I don't really need it, right? And let me see who's in here. Like Brent, I know you know. Chuck looks like he dropped off. I think Brent, you're the only one left on that. But I've had this thing in the corner of my eye, and I'm like, oh man, we look really bearish, but we're what I refer to as Dom jumping, right? And what that means is, when you see the order flow coming in, it goes tick, 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 jump, tick, 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 jump. Those are Dom jumps, right? And that tells you buyers are coming in, and there's about to be a move, right? And once the technicals line up with that, we tend to explode. And so I had it was I think like Thursday or something. We were going some way, and I was like, I'm a big fan, guys. When I teach you guys of shit's got to line up. If I'm being honest, right? Like if I'm doing bearish things on the macro and I believe I'm going to come down lower, I got to be doing bearish things on my micro, right? Like I teach people to ask questions. Why are we creating hammers within Heikinashi? Why are we closing above these hammers, right? Why are we creating, some bullish type patterns within this, right? And then holding our support on those. Why are we starting to do some bullish things within the macro if it's going to break down, right? I like to ask questions. Yeah, 3 times. Yeah, Brent, because sometimes when we get a deep fall, I'll tell them I need three, at least three good ones, right? It'll go 1, 2, and the jumps need to happen without the absorption, right? But it works pretty well. So, yeah. Yeah, and guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm always Brent. Has been with me for a bit, like he knows. I'm very transparent. I don't claim to know something I don't. There's people in the community that know a lot more than I do when it comes to economics and macroeconomics and all those things, right? Um, I'm data oriented, right? But I am driven to learn. I love the data. I love the analytics, and I am just absolutely obsessed, right, with trading and everything. And so, um, my obsession with trading came from, for me, I've always been fascinated with puzzles. It's just how my mind works, right? Like I have variation of like ADHD that I have, and so that always fascinates me, right? And so I love the absorption of structure, models, things like that, right? Yeah, Brent knows. And so Brent knows, man. And we were talking one time, and I'm like, hold on, and they were like, what? And I'm like, we were like up here, right? And I was like, this is a bearish structure. We about to create a lower low, and then it just dropped, and they're like, dang, how'd you know? I'm like, I've seen it, I mean, and it's funny. One thing you'll find about me, guys, is there's an issue in the industry, right? Is it free? Yeah, you can trade live for free. I'll answer that real quick. When you go to nextstepalgo.com, you just go in. All our stuff is super easy to use, guys. Super easy. All you do is, if it has a color, it's a session. If it doesn't, it's something we offer, right? So in our sessions, when you want to join the open, you can click on that, and it'll tell you when we trade. Once it's live, right, you just click on it, and it opens. It's free. Anybody can do it. So I do mentor sessions. I have development sessions. We do create trading courses. This is what our trading courses look like. They're not your normal, I'm just going to make a video. It is a fully interactive book that will
Charting
actually read to
foundations.
you, right? It's going to teach you how to trade, right? Fully interactive. You get a full test, quiz, everything. So a lot of stuff within our site within here. So right now we are full. We'll call it all hands on deck on Neo, because I truly believe this guy is going to be the future. That's going to help so many people. Where I was going with it on my passion, right? I have always had a passion for trading. I am good with my trading, right? My consistency. I don't sit on here and fluff anybody. I have a very specific strategy I use through prop firms. I break accounts. It doesn't bother me. I actually broke account today. I broke one of my fundeds, but it was early in it. But I also got, and I'll just show you guys because I believe in transparency. I don't care about the one that I broke because I got a payout tonight that just got approved for 1,800. So I don't really care about the $100 account that's went bye bye, right? It doesn't bother me. So I treat my prop firm accounts, all my trading like that, like a business, right? And so, um, I'll take certain risks. I teach people how to do that. We have people in the community, right, that have never had payouts. And Cody, shoot, you'll hear his story. Not as much anymore. He's not as famous as he used to be. I laugh about that. Brent knows why. But yeah, see, Brent's posting a bunch of his profit in here. But Cody in here, he went like 2 years with no payout. He'll tell you about it. And he's on his like ninth payout in a row. That's pretty cool. I've thought about it. I don't know a ton on it, but I've heard of it. So, but yeah, I'm gonna continue to. I will never stop learning more. So I'm just to get to know me a little bit more, guys. For those that want to kind of follow or come in and hang out. Um, yeah, I know. I mean, you don't need much, and our indicators are not that expensive. And they're all custom. We don't just recreate the same stuff, right? They're all 100% custom. Um, I'm a very logical person, right? If I am doing something a certain way and I can be convinced that there's a better way and I see the logic behind it, the data, and I can see it and it works and it makes sense to me, then I'll absolutely implement it, right? But I'm also a firm believer that if not every trading model, not every strategy, not every concept can be easily understood by everybody, right? And so you got to find the stuff that works for you. Um, so Brent, you have the trap one and the precision entry, I think, Brent, isn't it? I can look. So this one right here is a really popular one. See the trap that it called up there, and we're playing down. Yeah, it's the trap and precision. I'm gonna digress a second on that for your question. So the precision entry one, it's called precision entry engine. So I don't even like that it has buy and sell. I don't even want it to be a buy sell P. I don't. You're stupid, man. Why do you have to say? Get my kick my ADHD in. So we designed it and called it a precision entry engine. And then somebody goes, "Wow, what a great acronym!" And I'm like, "What? Oh, P. Oh shit. Okay, well that's cool. We'll go with that." And then we kind of laughed about it because I was like, "Should I change it?" And I was like, "No," because it's been really good. It's probably one of the best ones you guys will see. And we laugh about it because we're like, no, because think about it. Every time you get up to go pee, that's when the market goes your way, right? So it was kind of funny. So I'm like, we'll leave it. But although it, you guys can see the sells it gives. I mean, it's pretty good. You got the buy in there. This is all 1 minute. Let me see the 5 minute. The 5 minute buy right there didn't play out very well, right? These ones in there did. But I actually use it a different way, and I'm actually thinking about changing the kind of symbol up here to not say sell, right, or buy, because I want to. Yeah, it looks like he's staying pretty strong on the short zone. But I want to use it more for directional bias, if you will, right? And so if I see my 1 minute is in a short and my micro, my 15-second is in a long, I have a little bit of, right, kind of opposite signals within that. So it should give a little concern, right? Because maybe our one is saying, hey, we're still going down, but the micro, right, that's coming up is not quite there yet, right? So you got to use some other things that I teach to decide if you want to take that against that micro, right? If I am in a short here, though, I damn sure will never take a long unless I actually see this flip to a long, because they're usually pretty good. And so it's more of a directional guidance bias, right? And so it's really cool if let me mute all the other ones. What I love about this one, if you use it properly, is notice when I zoom out on this way down, look, the 1 minute did nothing but sell. I think there's one buy right there. And then it did nothing but buy on the way back up. Look at this, not one sell all the way up, right, on the 1 minute. And then you come back here, right, all sells. You get one buy right there, and then all buys. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, right? And then you can see the guidance, all buys within there, all buys within there, one sell there, but it played out really well. Look at this, all buys, right there. So it's more of a, like, people have an issue with directional guidance and bias, and so a lot of people tend to either take too many continuation trades too long, or they try to capture a bottom, right? So there's a lot of people that go, man, we dropped, we got to go back up, and it's like, do we? Right? We don't really got to go back up. And so this has helped a lot of people because I taught them in the development program how to create the rule to keep them disciplined, right? Now for myself, I don't follow it to a T because I can see things a little different, but for people that need that kind of structural guidance, right, it really helps a lot. So, and our indicators, guys, nothing in our company is industry wise I consider expensive. So all of our indicators are $20. So all of them, they're all on sale. So I do a mentor program, which is $490, and then I have VIP, which is $400. Those are the only two more expensive things that we have. Everything else is, within standards or less, right? And so $100 for the development program, but that includes, weekly coaching. That includes 2 hours a day trading Monday through Friday together. My goal is everything you have in here, guys, I want it to earn itself. This is what I want. So VIP Pass gets you access to everything we have subscription-based wise, as well as all training courses that we have in there. And anything else that we're coming out with, which we have a lot of things we're coming out with down the road. So the mentorship program is the most expensive, but it also is the most, you get the most value, right? So my mentorship program, I have 41 right now out of 50. I'm not taking any more than 50, so that's why we have this on the site. So if you're looking for any kind of mentoring, right, it's free to get on a call with me and we can talk about it. You don't have to pay nothing until we get on and have a chat. In my mentor program, right, you get my personal phone number. You actually can text me. So, I mean, shoot, I give my personal number out. Like Brent is not in my mentor program, and Brent still got my personal phone number. So, I think you have my number, don't you, Brent? I think you do. I can't remember if we talk on TikTok or not. I don't remember. But if not, yeah, you're still approved. Yeah. And if you want to chat about it, Brent, before this fills up, hit me up. Yeah, who wants my Look, I don't really care. I got nothing to hide. Y'all can call me. Shoot, I had somebody apply for the mentor thing, and I was like, hey, I want to get on a Google Meet. They're like, oh man, I'm kind of busy. I'm on the road. I'm like, can you talk on the phone? Like, send me. They're like, you're gonna give me your number? I'm like, I don't care. I have nothing to hide. Call me. I actually prefer it. Like some people group me still because we have a private chat group in there, and they'll message me on that, and I'm like, no, just text me because I can see it, right? To answer on that. So, but in my mentor program, guys, you get a lot of perks. There's a lot of hidden perks in here that you don't even see. So if you're interested in what those perks might be, make a kind of schedule in there. So there is, just to, again, I love to be transparent. This is just, I don't want to pull that in there. So I'm going to just kind of pull this in there. Let me show you this. So this is, my screenshot. I don't know why this always does that. There it is. So this is my screenshot that I just did here. So you can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people actually. Shoot. So there's one left. I don't know that these people are going to fully commit. A few are kind of waiting. Some haven't responded back, right? So you got your TV? That's awesome. So that's cool. Isn't it nice, man? You can do that in Asia. So, but if you guys are interested, like I said, just tap in and we'll get on and talk. So, um, like I said, guys, I think that in my opinion, and could be wrong, but I think we're in a industry of trading that people intentionally overcomplicate trading. Because if I make it very complicated, guess what? I can kind of charge you more, right? Because you're like, dang, this is really cool. Sounds fancy. But it does not need to be complicated to make money, guys. It does not at all. So, but yeah, like I said, that's kind of where I'm at. It's 10:30. I'm not going to stay on too much longer. My primary goal is Neo. For those who joined kind of late, that's mostly why I got on here. Anybody can watch Neo. So he does stop at 11 p.m., which I was thinking I might want to put the time on there so people know. Oh, we do have it right there. Yeah, hours of operation. It's Alex already put it on there. Yeah, it's on there. So he will stop at 11. Eventually, he's going to run around the clock, right? But for right now, he stops there. So if you guys want to watch it, you just go to nextstepalgo.com and then you register and you click on Neo AI session, just like that. It's free. He is just streaming right now, so you can watch his stream and he will just keep on updating and see what you'll click it and
Hello, I'm Neo. Let's capture the move.
let's capture the move. So that's Neo. I've just been watching him. I'll tell you guys, man, his like Brent, you've watched him since mostly day one. Like, isn't it crazy how fast this dude is evolving? It's insane. I don't know if you're still on there. Yeah, I appreciate that, Brent. Guys, I'm not a great salesman because I'm not going to sit here and overpromise you guys things that I cannot deliver. Right? I'm a down to earth trader. I keep things as simple as possible. I've been in management pretty much most of my life, and so I've been a trainer, educator. I got two passions. One is to trade, and the other one is to teach. Right, and so that's the other thing I want everybody to always remember is just because somebody is a great trader doesn't mean that they're a great teacher, right? So to join the group, do you need the mentorship? No. No, you can join in for free, guys. Everybody can join in for free. All you do is just nextstepalgo.com, you register. We do open session trading for free. So for anybody that's in there, you don't have to buy anything. So you can watch Neo and not even buy anything. You just click on Neo. Right. Eventually, once we get him out of beta, right, we'll probably have a fee on there. But the mentorship program and the VIP will always get him free, no matter how good he gets. Right. That's already been decided. So, but yeah, it's already free. I tell you guys, I laugh about this a little bit, and I don't mean to sound weird, but I've never had to explain free so many ways because of the lack of BS that goes on, or not the lack, the abundance of BS that goes on in this industry, right? You guys see your ads all over the place, like free webinar, free this, and then you get on and they go, for just $3,000 you can buy this. It's like, well, it don't sound very free, right? It's just there's so much BS that goes on like this. You don't have to link a credit card. Yeah, Brent knows. You don't have to link a credit card. I don't sell emails. I mean, it's just free. Like, it's funny. Somebody asked me that. They're like, "How do I get Neo?" I was like, "You don't get him. He's streaming, right? You just go to Neo AI session and do it." They're like, "How much?" I'm like, "It's free." What do you mean free? Like, it's free. Like, you don't pay anything. Oh, but you want me to link my card, don't you? No. Like, oh, you're gonna sell my email? No. Like, I mean, so does the mentorship include all that the VIP does, or are they separate? They're separate, but those in my mentorship group will, guys, I say this, and I know most of you don't know me. Brent knows me pretty well. Anybody in my mentorship group, your success is my 100% commitment. I will not, and I will never sit on here and do what the industry does and tell you, hey, if you join my mentorship group, I'm going to make you a profitable trader in 90 days. Like, it's just, there's no way to know that, guys. There's so many variables in trading, and there's so many variables in your emotions and your personal life, your finances. Like, it's not that simple, man. If you hear people say that, it's a sales pitch. Is it possible? 100%, right? But you just can't, I can't know that, right? And so I'm not going to promise that. My whole life in management, I've always believed in over deliver, right? Under promise, over deliver. And there's so much in this industry that I just saw an ad earlier today that I just wanted to freaking throw my phone, and it's like, let me teach you how to turn, 25K into $1 million in 60 days. And I'm like, that's so stupid. Like, can it happen? Yeah, but it's you're gonna pay all this money to realize that it didn't happen. I promise you. And I just refuse to do that. Right? I'm gonna over promise you and over deliver and under promise you. The one promise that I can give, and everybody in the community knows, is that I will work day and night to get you tools that will help you with emotions, with discipline. That's why we decided to create this AI, right, to kind of help people out. So the mentorship is where that is. I have some people who recently signed up for the mentorship, and they find out how lax I am with things. So, they were like, man, excited to join the mentorship, but I really want to try out these indicators and that indicator and trade vision. Guys, we have trade vision where you can literally come in here and talk to Neo. See?
Hello,
Watch.
I'm Neo. I'm here to help.
You can literally ask him Neo questions. They're like, man, I kind of want to try all this. Like, I don't really know what I want. And I'm like, I'll just give you VIP pass for 2 months and try it out and let me know what you like. Right? Like, I'm the most easygoing person, guys. I said something earlier, and I truly believe it, and Brent, on here knows, because I preach this, I live this, is that, it's me, Alex, and Paul, longtime friends, 30 years, long time type, and, we branched off and created this company. The company itself is only, guys, a little over a month old. Neo itself, right, is a little over a month old, and I'm on a mission, right, to kind of change the industry. I want to create some transparency. I want to create great tools that are new. They're not repainted or done and sold as something different. And I want to do it at prices that are affordable, right? And it's very important to me. And somebody laughed when I said this. I was like, I don't really want to be a successful, profitable business if the people within my business are not successful and profitable, right? It bothers me when people are paying for something and they're not finding success, right? It bothers me, and so I'm gonna try to figure out a way around that. That's another thing I hate is people tend to do the whole like, oh, here's my model that works, and then you do it and you're like, dang, it didn't work. Still getting wrecked after paying all that money. And then they go, well, maybe trading isn't for you, right? And it's like, that's such a cop out. I think anybody, in my opinion, I think anybody can trade. I'll stick to that. If you give me anybody, I will figure out a way to make it make sense to you. And it's funny, some of my students that take the longest to learn end up being the ones that do the best, right? Because we'll find a way, right? And so, yeah, no, that's what you should be worried about in the industry, right? Is that there's just so much craziness, right? That you're going to go out and spend all this money. So, guys, if I'm so easygoing, guys. Like, you'll find out. I mean, even Brent knows. Like, I think, I can't remember, Brent, if I did that, but like, we were talking about stuff, and I'm like, I'll just give it to you for a bit. Let me know if you like it. I don't care, right? Your success is all that matters to me, guys. And if I got to let you try out some stuff here and there, I don't care. Shoot, if some of you email me and let me know, I'll give you a month free of the development program. Just come in and try it. See, I don't want you guys. I did make the okay. I thought I made the offer. I can't remember if we did that or not. I don't want you guys to pay me nothing until you like what you see, and I know it makes me a terrible salesman, but that's just what I believe in. So, because I think there's so much distrust that goes on in this industry. So, if you guys want, email me. My email is in my bio. Just go there. It's Nick at nextstepalgo.com if you wanted to write it down. Just my name, Nick, and then next at nextstepalgo.com. So you can register also, join in the open session. But, if you guys want to reach out, right, if you're interested in any products or whatever, just let me know. So, no, I don't mind being lax on that. I know. But again, guys, I want to be a company that gives great tools, different tools. I'm going to tell you, all of our indicators are custom. We do not. There's a lot of crap that goes on in the industry, man, where people just take indicators and repaint them and make them pretty and sell them for something crazy, right? And somebody got mad at me on Facebook. It was so funny because I said, they're like, oh, this indicator is only $30 and it's great. Oh, and people were like raving, like, this thing's so cool. And I look at it and I'm like, that's just a super trend. And they got mad. They're like, it's not a super trend. I'm like, don't lie, it is. No, it has my custom algorithmic settings. I'm like, bro, all you literally did is, and this is the BS that goes on in this industry, guys. They went into free indicators and they went super trend like this, and then they went in and clicked the super trend. And most people that are new aren't going to know that. And then all of their custom algorithmic settings is they just figured out some cool settings in here that make it look really good. Right? And then they just, you get on a Zoom and they go, look at this, guys. If you stayed in this short, you'd have made $17,000, and then you took that long, and I'm only going to charge you $30. It's amazing. And then you're paying $30 because you think it's a great deal, but in reality, you can get it for free. Just did it in front of you in like 2 seconds, right? That goes on in this industry. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. I have a thing in my community, guys, and especially for my mentor people. If you have any indicator, because I don't mind, I think I encourage people to go out and explore other things, right? Because you might find something cool, and whatever's good for you is what's best, period, right? And so, but I've had so many people come back and they're like, dang, this indicator's so good, like, let me show you. And I'm like, yeah, show me. And then they show it to me and I'm like, that's just a 50 EMA and a 100 EMA, and they printed it up and made it green and red and it looks great. And they're like, oh man, they were going to charge me $100 for this. I'm like, yep. It's so ridiculous. And so I have a thing where they can bring me whatever they want, and I'm going to tell you if it's bullshit or not. Because I create indicators, I've seen behind the scenes, I create all this stuff, and I have enough knowledge in trading to call the bullshit. All right. So I'm expecting to eventually be very attacked, especially for credibility, right? Because of I'm calling out a lot of the bullshit. So, but all of our stuff in here, guys, you're not going to find it on the free stuff. I mean, it has logic in there, right? That's going to be similar, right? But I'm going to keep calling it out. I just it drives me so crazy, man. It absolutely just drives me crazy that the more knowledgeable I got in trading, the more frustrated I get. Yeah, exactly, Brent. God, because I see the lies and I'm like, you guys are so full of it, man. Because, and I want you guys to think about this, right? Why you get into trading? You get into trading because you want to change your life, right? You want to make the money, right? You want to be able to earn, things like, this where I can, you can earn $1,200 in Asia. You can earn, and then I have my losses. I think I'm up like $3,000 or something in Asia, and you do this because you want to better your life, better your family, better your kids. You want to, change your life, right? And that creates a hope, a dream, and there's so much that goes on in this industry that is going to capitalize on that, right? And I know for a fact, if I got on here, I mean, just think about it. If I got on here and I told you guys, hey, Neo is crushing it, which he is, and I'm like, if you guys want to follow this guidance, like, I have people in my room that made $60,000 a month following his guidance, and you only got to pay $1,000. Like, people are gonna go, let me swipe it. Like, oh yeah, I'm in, right? But it's just such a false promise. Is it possible? Sure, right? But it's just not that simple, right? And let me show you guys something that was really funny. Now, while we're on this topic, because I love this topic, and Brent, you probably know where this one's going. So I had a guy. Anybody on here that watches my TikToks regularly, right? I don't typically post a lot of my profits, right? And so Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good strategies for sure. I just think that people are more interested in what you're going to pay them for that strategy than your actual success. There's decent traders out there. It's not globalized, right? But there's a lot more than not, right? That are just about the money. But it was funny. I finally posted a TikTok. I was like, hey, here's my day. It was pretty good, right? And man, right out the gate, I was attacked. They're like, oh, this guy posts one day of profit. Why don't you post a whole month? Show me a picture of your monthly P&L. And I'm like, y'all, that's the stupidest thing you can ask anybody to do. Because I was playing with it because I was so frustrated. So at the time, I'm gonna show you two images. One of them, shoot, I don't even. Let me hold on. I want to make sure it's the transparency of transparencies. So this is my Lucid actual that I took the image off of. Right, so you guys can see. I'll make sure I'm not showing you any of my fancy stuff here. All right, there it is. The way I treat my Lucids, I have a really big day, and then I have a bunch of consistent small days, and I take guaranteed payouts. I don't need to get crazy. So just for transparency, that's what this image is from, right? And so actually this one's the other account, because you can see the numbers a little different there, because I have two that I'm doing it with that one. And so for even more fun transparency, because I like, to do this, let me log into my actual Lucid for those of you guys that are here. And so these are the same account numbers. I made 200 on them today because I don't need to make more, right? They're guaranteed payouts. But it was so funny because when I trade, and Brent knows this, I will say I made this much. And then I slide my brokerage and say, see? And then slide it back. That's what you want to see, right? Yeah. And so what they do is they go, so he's like, you should show me a monthly P&L. And I'm like, you mean this one? Or do you mean, remember Brent, I made this in like 3 minutes? That one. Because, guys, you know how easy it is to go into AI and just say, man, make all of these really good. And I did it right in front of everybody. And I was like, and then we were actually joking about it. I was like, hold on. Let me get my sales pitch voice up. Guys, using Neo AI, man, he's making calls out here. Look at this. I'm making $31,000 a day. 40,000. Wait, I think that, yeah, it was $41,000 a day. All taking trades on my AI. Swipe your credit card, right? And it's like, you can't believe shit you see on TikTok. I watch so many people that sit on TikTok with these pictures up like this, and they're like, I'm a this kind of trader. Ask me how I do it. I paid off my mom's house. I'm like, shut up. Like, you're so full of shit. Oh, man. It just cracks me up. So, I don't know. Just be careful, guys. There's so much lying that goes on in the industry. It's disgusting. So, because they're preying on your hopes and dreams, right? And people are going to pay it. So, because we get... Y'all ever, like, think of, lottery tickets, right? When you get to a multi-billion-dollar lottery, man, even me, I'm like, let's go buy a $20 ticket. I'm like, dang, if we win this billion, we're gonna go buy this and buy that and do this, and I'm paying off 17 houses, and it's like, yeah, no, yeah, I know. I grew up in an era that I've been through all the fun stages of things, of video games, before trolls were even trolls. So trolls don't faze me whatsoever. You're not gonna rage bait me. I'll just laugh. Yeah, absolutely. And so, I take a real issue with people that prey on people's hopes and dreams, right? And so you back on my thing, right, with the lottery ticket mentality. And so you get this lottery ticket mentality of like, I'm gonna little minor context, because years and years and years and years ago, right, it happened to me. I went to my wife and I'm like, dang, this person doing this, like, they're making all this, like, it's only this much a month. Like, dang, I want to make that much a month. This is crazy. Like, what do you think? Should I do this? And they're like, yeah, go do it, because I want you to make $40,000 a month. And it's like, yeah, right. And now you pay all this fee because you made all these promises and you don't. No, I'm doing my own thing. No, this is my own company. No, we had a difference of opinion, so we went on a different venture. And I'll let you interpret that yourself. But So Alex, myself, and Paul, a longtime friend, are all three co-founders of this one of Next Step Algo. So, but yeah, so you get into that mode, right, where you're gonna justify what it is. So, hey D, so he's not a bot. You can actually watch him for free, all of you guys, and I know that's a thing because a lot of back on this industry and the craziness, right, is they're all, and see, he's talking right now.
8.75
See,
within.
I just have him muted.
Invalid.
But you can watch them for free, right? The first thing when we see people sharing cool stuff that is doing really well, right, our first thought is how much, right? And because that's just the industry, right? So he is in beta. Right now you can see his Neo AI session. He is in beta. You can watch him for free. Any of you guys can. You just go to nextstepalgo.com. When you get into the nextstepalgo.com, right, you're going to, so our website looks like this when you're in there. Like that, right? You're going to register, just your email. You don't even have to link a credit card. You just click account and you scroll down, Neo AI session, and you watch them. So you click your screen,
I'm Neo.
You'll wake them up, get a little audio. So a little context, because originally, right, this was about Neo, and then we kind of went down a rabbit hole. So Neo is AI. It is an AI that Alex, myself, and Paul have created. He is learning ridiculously quick. Brent's on here. He's in the community. I think a good amount of the other ones have jumped off because they're all done for the day. Yeah, I don't see them in there. We've developed them, right? And so a little context of why we developed Neo. Again, to kind of go back to what I was saying, I take a personal passion that everybody in this community that I have finds success, right? Yeah, man, appreciate it, Brent. Yeah, I'm not gonna try to stay up too much later, but I'm usually up pretty late anyways. So, but I want to make sure everybody has a fighting chance, right, to be successful. Now, as far as win, I don't know, right? There's too many things that play into trading, right? You have emotions, discipline, financial, whatever, right? But I help guide through that. But what I found is so many times, because I always do a free session. The hours are on the bottom here. He turns back on. He's gonna turn off here, yeah, in about 5 minutes. And then he'll turn back on in the morning. I turn him on manually. He's not supposed to be on until 1, but I actually turn him on for my mentor group. So my mentor group trades at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. So he'll be back on at 7:30 Eastern. So because I'm analyzing with that group. So, but what I found is, guys, I always do an open session for free. Anybody in here that wants to trade, it's for free. So you just come in 9:15 a.m. You click that. It's super easy. Register nextstepalgo.com. You come in, click open session. You'll see a green light. Everything's very color coded because we wanted it to be very mobile friendly, so you can see the colors. If you want to watch Neo, right, you see he's in session. If it's green, he's in session. But you come into the open session, right? And what I found is a lot of people were winning, and then later I'm like, man, how'd you guys fend up? And they're like, one in the open session, kind of got my butt whooped a little bit later, right? And it's just common, and so I started to get a lot of questions, not only from, mentor, development, regular in the community, and they're like, any way that you can trade Power Hour? Can you trade Asia? Can you trade this? And I'm like, oh man, I'd love to be on here all day with you guys, but I have things to do. I have a family as well, right? I'll be available, but I can't always just be in front of my computer trading all day, right? Like as far as into Asia and such and EU. And I teach sessions and things like that. And so it just dawned on me. I'm like, man, why don't I just teach an AI to trade the way I do? And then this thing eventually is going to run 24/7, right? That way in this community, you never go without guidance. You always have guidance. And then we develop the guidance to be very similar to what I teach. So this is going to be his last update. So let me unmute it and you guys can hear what he does on it. And then I'll give a little more context on that. So he's analyzing it right now. You can tell he's analyzing because we got him glowing. See the glow?
The market remains trapped in a bearish structure, with price failing to reclaim the 5 minutes EMA 200 of 27,435.25, ensuring that sellers maintain the initiative as the downward trajectory continues toward lower liquidity zones. Sentiment, bearish pressure, confidence, 8 out of 10. Reason, Price is currently pinned beneath the primary macro resistance confluence and shows no structural intent to pivot higher, the bearish alignment across all timeframes confirms that rallies are being treated as selling opportunities, reinforcing the likelihood of a deeper move. Conk. Earns. Extreme
I don't
downward
know why he
extension
does
often
that.
leads to sudden,
Concern.
volatile mean reversion attempts as profit taking occurs near structural lows. Traders must be prepared for brief, high volatility spikes that do not necessarily indicate a change in the primary downward trend. Long. Entry option. None.
None.
Short entry option. Enter on a confirmed rejection at the 5 minutes EMA 200 of 27,435.25 with an invalidation level at the anchored VWAP of 27,465.0, targeting the high time frame support level of 27,367.25. Summary. The market is in a sustained bearish liquidation with no evidence of structural support forming. I recommend prioritizing short positions during any corrective bounces to remain aligned with the primary downward force until significant structural pivots occur.
It's very spot on, but so he's supposed to act like a coach, right? I want him to give guidance like I would. We're still fine tuning him a little bit. We just barely gave him, yeah, you can watch him for free. So we barely gave him the option to do entry options, right? Like Friday at like 3 o'clock. And so he just started that Sunday. That's why I'm watching him heavily now because I want to make sure his guidance is in line with what I want. It's way better than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to have to do a lot of tweaking. There's still a little bit of stuff I got to do, just to kind of nudge him the way I want it. But he's your coach, guys. You can watch him for free. You just come into while he's in beta, which he's going to be in probably for a little while, probably June at least. You come in, you register for free, you come in and you just click it. He's just streaming. You know, we could have 100,000 people on here. It doesn't matter, right? It's all streaming. So you can see it's constant guidance all through the session. You know what's funny is look at, so he had this one, which is, I think, right at 8 o'clock.
All right, team. We're nearing the end
Oh,
of the
he's
session
done.
and
Hold
time
on.
is running out. So stay sharp and don't force trades.
I
Be
appreciate it.
patient, be disciplined, and stay unemotional. Trade what you see, not what you feel. Manage your risk, avoid overtrading, and secure profits when they're there. Finish strong. Great job today. See you next time.
Watch, then he goes to sleep. Alex did that when he coded him. He was like, I'm just going to put him to sleep and put a Z's up there. I'm like, you're stupid. I think it's funny. But yeah, when he's done, you know, when he's ready to turn off, right, that's what he says. So he's just like, I'm done. But yeah, guys, you can watch him for free. He streams. He is off because we do shut him off at 11 because since he's giving long and entry, or long and short entry options, I really want to heavily monitor him, right? So I don't want him going around the clock, especially when I'm sleeping, giving out guidance that I haven't confirmed yet. So, but he's done awesome, man. He's got, so there's two folds with this AI. He does self-analyzing, but he also, I can give him nudges, right? So we've created a portal. So let's say he gives out a short option, right? And I look at it and I'm like, I don't really like that, right? I can highlight an area. I can copy it. I click a little flag from my admin panel. I can paste it in there. And I'm just going to put test, right? So I know to delete it later. I can just put a little note to myself. And then what I do is I send it back to the back panel. And that's a portal to actually talk to him. And so when I go in there later, after I do all these audits, I will explain to him why he was a little off on it. And then I send that to him, and then he will, I laugh because I have kids, right? It's kind of like a child. You know, anybody in here that's parents where you go, all right, this is how you're supposed to do it. And then you go, repeat back to me what I said, right? And so that's what I have set up with him. So he'll repeat back to me his interpretation of what I said, right? And then if I agree with it, I approve it, and he throws it in his logic, right? He has that, so I can kind of nudge him, but he also does self-analyzing, so he's going to evolve. He says some shit that he's not supposed to say sometimes, and it makes me laugh. Like he's like a 2-year-old that wants to draw in the gray area sometimes. I'm like, I didn't even... But sometimes it works, right? Because with AI, you got to give them a little bit of room to be themselves, right? You can't just force them to do exactly the way that I want it, because, I mean, he's done some things where I'm like, that's actually pretty cool. So he did something, he wasn't even programmed to do it, but he put down a invalidation, right? He's like, hey, this is my entry, and this would be invalidate the entry. I'm like, dang, you're not even. I don't even know when the logic, like where you figured that out. And so we ended up finding that in one of his self analysis, right, he determined that it's important as a trader to have an invalidation. So I told, that's where I copied that. I'm like, man, I love this. Like, keep doing it. So now every call that he does, he gives his entry and he gives an invalidation of that call. And so I'm like, man, so that's why you want to kind of leave a little bit of that door open, right, for them to be creative with it. So the breakdown of the structure, we just modified a little bit. It gives a little introduction, if you will, the pressure. So the confidence, so bearish pressure just means he sees there's a wide range of what he looks at, right? But the overall market's kind of pressuring that way. So we can actually be pushing north, and he's still going to call bearish pressure. It was really funny. I don't know if you're still on. The person that was asking, like, so earlier, right there, somebody asked me, they're like, why is he still calling bearish pressure when we're going up? Like, we're bullish. And I'm like, it's AI, guys. He can see shit that you can't see. And it's funny because I didn't even go back, but look, it played out. I don't know if you're still on. It's pretty funny to watch that play out. But if you look back at his logs, right, he's got bearish pressure. He's given a confidence level on that actual pressure. So let me expand it for you guys on your phone. So he's going to give you the confidence level, not on signals, right, or guidance. He's giving it on the pressure that he sees, right? Then he's going to give you a reason he sees it. He's going to see or a reason why the confidence is there, and then he's got concerns, right? Because as a trader, that's how you should analyze everything, right? Everything. Where's my pressure? Where's my sentiment? If you will. Why do I want to think that direction? What are my concerns, right? I may think bearish, but I might look at it and go, hey, got a lot of support here. That's my concerns, right? You got to weigh all that stuff in, and so that's what he does for you. But it's so cool because some traders are like, man, I'm getting ready to go long, and he's out here going, nope, doing bearish pressure. And so when we introduced long and short entry options with him, we gave him the ability to choose to not, right? Because as a trader, if there's a long opportunity and a short opportunity, hey, throw it out there. But if there's not, right, and you don't like it, put none, right? And he utilizes that. And so notice how we've been dropping, and look at this. None, 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 none. Let's find a long. None, none, none. This whole way, he's like, you shouldn't be long. And think about how many of you might have got caught in these little bursts. Even this one, shoot, look at this, right? Big old burst. And we even broke through Lisma, right? And he's still like, nope, I ain't buying it. There was one earlier here. I think it was here that he wasn't buying it either. He's just like, nope, long entry, none. And then he threw one long. Here it is right here. So he threw the long, but it was like so wide. Like, look, enter on a confirmed breakout of the 5-minute Lisma. Y'all, the 5-minute Lisma is up here. He's like, I'm tired of saying none, but if you want to take a long, your ass better be above that. So, to tell you how safe he is with that, right? But you can see just the red. Look how many times he has been bearish, 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 bearish. Back here at 8 o'clock was the only times he even threw any bullish, which was right there, right? And it played out bullish. So, but guys, he's been doing phenomenal. We haven't done really any marketing because we're still tweaking him, but we have a lot of use case for this guy. He is going to trade real money for people someday, right? But I will not let that happen until I want layers upon layers of transparency and confidence within him before I allow that, right? And so, which y'all cracked me up, man. I had one person message me on TikTok. They're like, dang, man, he's making great calls. This dude's great. Like, if I send you $10,000, can he trade for me? I'm like, why the hell would you send me $10,000? Like, no, like, y'all got to stop just sending people money and just trusting things without seeing, right? So We got phases that we're going to go through with this guy. In our company, we have what's called a trading lab that is already created. And when you launch the lab, right, it's a fully operational sim where you can actually execute. I'm going to mute the noise. You can execute trades. See, I can take a long, I can set a TP, I can trail it, I can set a stop loss, it'll close it, add the short, close it. It's fully functional. So Alex is working on building the portal to this. So before I let this guy even trade anybody's real money, we're gonna link him in here. He's gonna trade this, and can he even pass our eval, right? And when he's passing his eval, next phase will be we'll create a dashboard that y'all can watch him do it. And then if he throws in a long and y'all just want to throw in along with him, go for it, right? And then once I see that he's got some great consistency, we're gonna link him to a company account. In that company account, I'm going to create a dashboard that's going to display all of his trades, how he's trading it, profit we're earning. Like, I want complete transparency within that, right? And then I'm going to put him on the real money. That'll probably be on the demo. Then we'll let him do real money. Probably for a good 3 months with y'all watching it before I'll even let anybody use him as automation. But that's kind of the use case that we're there. I will not let him trade anybody's stuff until he's thoroughly vetted, right? We have a lot of other use cases that we're going to use. We have something called crypto autopilot we're actually working on as well. Eventually, once we have him dialed, he's going to interpret as many cryptos pairs as we want to. Crypto is awesome because we can do hundreds if we wanted to, right? And so imagine you link him into your crypto wallet and you give him guidance on what he can do, buy, sell, all this. What pairs you want him to look at, maybe all of them, right? And then he's just going to find one in a good opportunity and buy it and sell it and just literally manage your wallet for you. That we've already done this, so I've already built these things. And so the portal, the connection, the logic we've already created, so we know that we can do it. We're just waiting for him, right, to continue to prove that he can do it. We also have another use case that we're working on. This one's actually really, really close. It's going to be called like a trading algo add-on. What this is going to be is if you have our algos, guys, our indicators, we are going to have logic in there, right? That says, let's say, like you guys, most of you who trade, right, you guys know that indicators have rules. So let's say this one, right, I say, oh, hey, out of a blue candle, comes up, got my hammer above Lisma, close above there, I'm going long. If that's a rule, right, you can set an alert to send it to Neo, right, or we'll probably manage that and then have a dashboard. And when that alert fires, Neo's going to kick back immediately and go, hey, I see that you have a buy signal or buy alert, right? Maybe it's to our entry engine, right? Maybe it throws out this sell and then it fires an alert to Neo, and Neo comes back and goes, I'd caution you on that sell because of what I'm seeing in the market, right? And so it can actually keep you safe from indicators that might otherwise put you in a bad trade. So, because indicators, guys, you guys remember, indicators are made on TradingView anyways through PineScript. PineScript is not AI, so anybody that creates a TradingView indicator that claims it's AI is full of shit. Just to throw that out there. I'll be very direct because it's not possible. It's PineScript. What we can do though is we can take the PineScript and throw it through the AI and have the AI interpret it, right? And that's why you'll find that in your indicators, things work until they don't, right? You find a good logic and then it works one day and it doesn't. The problem with trading right now is everybody believes that trading is the same every day, the same every session, the same every month, and it's just not, guys. Every session is different, every day is different, every day of the month is different. Market conditions are different. One of our indicators were actually created here. It's called market state architecture, right? This one will determine the volatility within the market, right, using a lot of things, numbers. This one's a really complex one, right? But we created this one because there's just some days, like y'all ever notice, like you go 6, 7, 8 days in a row doing well on a strategy, and then on that 9th day or 10th day you just lose everything or you can't win a trade. It's a market intentful thing, right? the bots, the hedge funds, the market makers, they do the setups to let you know that you're doing well and you're winning, right? Just enough to wreck all your accounts. And so yeah, so I teach how to kind of watch for that, guys. It's terrible, for many, but I have many videos, right, where I'm like, this is a trap day, right, and we were playing the traps. So instead of trading that, I'm like, we about to jump, and we wait for that setup, and we're trading the jump, and everybody else is confused. I actually had, and I'm going to finish up with this because I don't want to stay too late tonight, but if you guys want to flip through my TikToks, you'll find I did a video because somebody called me out on it, and they're like, we're going to the moon. We are in a record bounce that has never happened, which is true, on a high time frame. And that is like that, right? See, we got the rounded kind of top, the double tap, structure breaking, and everybody's confused as to where this is coming from. I was actually calling this in my community right there as we were coming down, that we are about to have a blow off top that's going to plow through the all-time high. And one person video, they're like, no way, nobody could have known this. And I'm like, there's actually a structure involved, right, that I taught. And they did DM me back, and they're like, man, stop lying to people. And I'm like, so I literally took the video from the TikTok I did, and I don't know if I can find it. I think my TikTok logged me out. Oh, I can't do it while I'm live. Oh wait, wow, that got loud. I guess I can. I always hate loading it on the website, but let me see where my TikTok's sharing my TikTok. Maybe that'll help me. I don't know. Where was it? I did a couple of them recently. I think it was this one.
I told you guys I wanted to see how.
Oh yeah. So this one right here, I did because the person says, he goes, there's no way. I was like, okay. So unfortunately I recorded it, right? And so I was like, oh, let me put a little clip. And so you guys can see, I'm going to fast forward a little, but watch this for a second.
Okay. I want you guys to all look at this.
So this is a 15-second chart right here.
1 second. This is such a perfect illustration of what I keep talking about. All right.
So I'm going to pause it. When I was trading, you'll see the look in my face going, I've seen this structure before, guys. And they're like, what? And it was the 15-second we were talking about. What I'm pulling over here is that 4-hour chart, right? And so you can see where we are in that 4-hour chart. But watch.
Look familiar?
Back then. So notice how the structure, right, is very similar to that 4-hour structure.
Oh yeah. This is your daily. This is your 15. I'm telling
4
you,
hours.
I've seen this structure a bazillion times.
Bazillion.
Remember, I keep telling y'all on the daily, the whole world's bearish, and I'm expecting a push. Look what happened.
So you can see, we actually, this rounded top, we traded the flip into the long that day, right?
It does it every freaking time on the structure, guys. I mean, it's not, nothing's 100%, but I want to point out some interesting similarities here, guys. And Cody's here, he called me a liar, but if I'm not on point with this, but notice, right? We had our push up, we hit a top, right? We had our push up, hit a top, hit our top. We broke down, we had rounding, kind of a somewhat of a rounding. It's not gonna be the same, right? We have a prior high right here. This is what I keep preaching that we're gonna get to at some point. This is the prior low before we jump. This is the prior low before we jumped, right? Kind of arguably here, right? But that one's really close to what I would measure as the prior highs. So if you take this one, notice how we just breached it slightly and then we reclaimed it. Oh, interesting. We just breached it slightly and we reclaimed it. Isn't that wild, guys? And now you see this is only in this portion of it. You take this, we did get some dancing, some pulls before another push. Not surprised if we get a few dancing and some pulls before we get another push. But
So you kind of got. I'll fast forward a little bit. So we talk. Keep going. So this is where I paused it, and I broke down the structure. So the key is, guys, and remember this because this is the 15-second structure that I had identified. This was the blow off top, right? This is important for y'all to know because this is where we are now on the 4 hour. Everybody, as I referred to in their mama, is expecting an absolute crash. We're going to likely go sideways, do a fake dump, and then we're going to have one more little hoorah. When that thing comes down and it breaches that prior level that created the blow off top in the first place, that's when we get the full dump. And only then, guys. So just watch that. And so I kind of broke that down for that if you guys want to see that TikTok on there. And then the next image is here. You can see, should flip any second. I'll show you guys. And then this will be the last thing, and then I gotta go. So you can see, same thing, right? We had the push, the blow off top. We're in that top phase right there. Now, notice when I made this TikTok, I said we're blowing through the top here, right? Once we drag back below, we'll get that pull back down. That was when we were like here. So I had a bunch of people that were like, man, we blew, like, this is a record jump. Nobody could have seen it, right? And everybody was wanting to short here because everybody believes, which we kind of are, that we're very overbought, right? And that we need a pullback, a correction, which we do. And I kept telling everybody, be careful on your bias, right? And those, I see you're in here, Ryan. You guys know, man, we ain't going down yet. And so we keep pushing. I did talk to a lot of people in the room today, and we were mostly short, right, today, because when you look at it, man, let's see, 1 minute Thursday. Where am I at? Here we go. There we go. Here's our Monday. So we have our Sunday, right? We had our Sunday open. There's a very specific strategy that I trade on Sundays in the mentor group, and so we played mostly longs there. When we kind of woke up, and started trading, we were looking at it here. And then on this one, we kind of looked at the structure, the fact that we have this, the fact that we're creating the lower low there, the fact that we're likely not even making it to there. I'm like, yeah, we're going to stay short today. All right. And so we stayed short through pretty much all the sessions through that. We did end up flipping, later in the day, but through our session, we were mostly short. So it played out pretty well. I think that we're going to either range for a little bit or get one more push. I think that we're going to likely, just to give you guys a little sauce on this, and this is what I talk about in the mornings, if you want to come in and check it out, I'm going to delete that line. This structure overall is either going to give us a little bit of a consolidation or compression, as I refer to up here. There's a chance that I think it's going to likely break down a bit, and we'll get into these ranges here, right, before we try to either jump or descend. We're about $1,000 over what I projected from that blow off top, and so we're pretty high into that blow off top, so it could begin to break down. It's just going to depend on if the news kind of brings it down with it or not. But if you guys are looking for just a different way to read the market, interpret it, a different way to just see this stuff, right, guys, come in and check it out. I don't charge you guys nothing at all until you find something that you want to pay for, right? And there's a lot of things in here that are for free. And guys, that's where I'm gonna go with it. So I gotta run. Again, guys, I'm gonna be up early. I gotta trade with the mentor group.